Where are we?
Gotcha. Wait, we're.
Here we are to talk about professional wrestling.
Nobody knows the whole story, so I'll tell you.
How about you, Jason?
Oh, this is like a murder room. This is great.
Lots of black sex magicians out there, right?
And look down like, what the fuck?
Oh, we're gonna just do it this way and nobody's gonna stop us.
I want to show that a real champion has to do things for the community, for your people, for other women, you know?
In this business, what you sell is emotions. If you manage to get people invested, you did it.
That's for sure some videotapes.
It's time for another MMM show.
Welcome to another edition of Mask Mats and Ma'am. I'm your host, Justin Outlaw Harvey. You can find me on social media at Justin Harvey. You can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow 75. Over on my right, left, right. The orientation thing is always off. On that side, it's Tony Allen, host of Carol Lucha.
There you go.
How was that yesterday? Was that fun?
It was really fun. Byron's microphone is all over the place, so it's ruining the audio, but thanks.
Is it?
Yes. There you go. It was very. See, you hear the
difference. It worked by turning it off. So it's so much better when it's not on.
That is funny. It was great. We had a great show. If you hablo español, váyanse al otro programa y escúchenlo. Muy divertido.
And if you don't speak Spanish, wait 20 hours and then you can watch Tony dubbed, which is absolutely amazing.
I don't like it. It makes me sound like I have an accent and I've worked on it because I like it. It makes it flat as fuck.
It's so weird though because it's like you, but all the affectations are totally wrong.
Yes, yeah, it's
like all the tonal quality is the same, and all of the affectations and the accent are totally wrong. It's so weird. It's like if Tony was from Maine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's so strange. I did say that yesterday on the show live in English. So it's like because people were asking like, "What is this?" And we were like, "If you don't speak Spanish, come back." What is going on with your microphone, Byron? Like,
we can hear you typing.
You're typing.
Anyway, let me introduce this guy. Hey, everybody, it's at Byron Fever.
Catch it.
Like AIDS.
It's not that big of a deal anymore. They have cures for it.
What do you mean it's not that big of a deal anymore?
It's not that big of a deal anymore. Where have you been?
Is that what you tell the ladies, Byron?
I'm married.
Don't worry about my AIDS, honey. It's not that big of a deal anymore.
I don't know how that would be an issue. I'm married.
Okay, well, I hope you didn't tell her that story.
No, I haven't told her yet at all. No.
Byron, hockey, basketball, or World Cup soccer?
Hockey was the ending was okay. The Stanley Cup games were they're really good hockey games. There were other issues too about rapists and stuff on one of the teams, but they lost. So the World Cup though is awesome and it's super exciting, and I really, really want to watch more than I am of the World Cup. So I'm looking forward to Korea versus Mexico Thursday, tomorrow. Also, it's going to be interesting because Korea, Mexico, through the magic of soccer and football, real football, have become like best friends.
Yeah, we are in love with each other as nations.
So that'll be interesting to see what happens. Is it going to be a friendly, or is it going to be a hooligan thing?
No, it's we already did some like postings on social media from both ends, like or most famous influencers. We already agree that you're just gonna close our eyes and hope that they tie, whatever. Yeah, it's crazy how, I mean, there's been already kind of a relationship developing between fans and stuff. Jesus. But
So did you see like the videos of fans watching a game down in Mexico, and it's just they're just making out with each other left
Yeah.
and right, and it's not
Yeah.
like people; it's one of each. Is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I mean, 9 months from now,
Have
there's
you-
going to
have you
be an
seen-
interesting.
Super weird.
Not announcers, the reporters that came from Korea keep getting harassed by Mexican women, and they keep getting kissed. There's like
Oh no,
video.
poor them. Oh
Yeah,
no,
of
that's
course.
so horrible.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, but they were like super red because they were like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" It's fucking hilarious.
That's
I
fun
love it.
stuff.
Fun
I mean,
stuff.
look, it's all better than Spain having a draw with a country that has less people than the lineup of their team. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, what do you mean Spain tied Cabo Verde? That's not a thing. So I went back and watched the highlights, and I was like, oh yeah, Spain forgot to put in like half of their starters because they thought it was just going to be a walk in the park, and then they had a draw on Cabo Verde, who was not supposed to win anything and shouldn't even really be in the World Cup.
It's been the view favorites nightmare so far, I think, except for like I don't know who was the earlier game. Oh, even today I lost money on Portugal. Like, what the hell? What's the name? Cristiano couldn't score. Cristiano, really?
It happens, man.
Oh, I have a question. I've been seeing
ahead.
these memes. Is it
Spanish
one of the
meme?
guys from Spain? But it's no, I think it's the Spain fans. They keep posting like these historical events, but what would have happened if this one player was the one in charge? Like
I've not seen
a specific one I saw was what would have happened on 9/11 if this person was flying a plane, and it just flies right on by.
I mean,
There was another less offensive one where it was like view of POV, you're a dinosaur when the big comet comes, but this guy is the one piloting a comet. You just see it go across the sky, nothing happened.
I can't blame them though. I mean, I play fantasy football, so I guess we all live in a little bit of a dream world. And I'm gonna say this, and I know some people are not gonna like it. I thought the UFC 250 Freedom thing was amazing, very well done, very patriotic. It wasn't even that politicized, even though there was obvious political overtones, and we know why certain people were happy to do the event. But other than one dumb wrestler or fighter saying something about Michelle Obama being a man, it really was just a fun, like, celebration, cool event, and UFC lost money doing it. So can we be mad about that? They put on a great show. It was really cool. They had 250,000 people out on the lawn and a bunch of servicemen inside where the actual arena was, and just and the fights were amazing. Justin Gaethje is a freaking beast. I can't believe he was a 6-1 underdog and retired the other guy on his stool. Ilya Topuria, like, who everyone was saying is if he could get past this fight, he is the pound for pound best fighter in the world, period, hands down. He got to the fourth round and he was like, I don't want any more of this. This is not for me.
Oh, I got to go in a second, but weren't there I don't watch it, but weren't there every match was a finish, which is
every single match was a finish. And this is one of the things about UFC that people got to recognize compared to
just kill a cameraman.
Oh God. Some of the boxing promotions and like compared to what we saw from the MMA event that was on Netflix. Yeah, there was finishes there, but they were all mismatches. Like the UFC put together a card full of pretty interesting, big, good fights with guys that could go either way. So I thought it was good. I know a lot of people didn't watch it at all because of the political implications, but to me, like I left that stuff at home. I think people confuse patriotism with politicism. Just because one group or the other group is in the office, that doesn't stop it from being the 250th birthday of our country, in my opinion. Doesn't stop it from being a very interesting event in a sport that I like, even if it is full of people that don't necessarily agree with my ideals or my viewpoints. It doesn't stop the sport from being good, doesn't stop the event from being good. It just means that it bolstered the side that's in there right now, but also it was a cool celebration for America. I thought it was really well done. And
a great celebration for a great leader.
Yeah, I don't know about that part. But he kept his mouth shut. He didn't say shit. He just came out there. He shook hands.
You don't have to say shit when you just put a claw in the middle of the White House. So
I mean, look, these people are all powerful. None of them care about us. Ari Emanuel was sitting there, and don't forget, his brother was Obama's chief of staff. Ari plays for the other side, but he's equally evil billionaire madman.
Yeah,
they all are.
Like I said, from outside, you are all the same.
Yeah, I mean.
Anyways.
But anyway, I thought it was an interesting event, and part of why I think it went so well is if you're going to do these big events, TKO now has the combined power of what the WWE has been able to do with WrestleManias and what the UFC has done with big shows like their Sphere thing with that big night that they did there. I like the fact that this company can at least, when the time is right, put on the big event. Sadly, they're taking the big event out of the country next year for wrestling, with WrestleMania going to Saudi Arabia.
Americans cannot afford to go to WrestleMania anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but everyone could afford to go to the event last night because they could either sit on the lawn and watch it on the big screen and not even actually see the cage, or they were service members that were invited inside the cage. But that money was not about that. Venue was not about.
I'm watching the game right now. It's Colombia, Uzbekistan. I don't know what happened. That everybody's losing their mind on the stands. Like there's nothing going on the field right now, but everybody in the stands is just jumping up and down like maniacs.
I'm gonna say Shakira flashed the crowd.
Real Shakira or fake Shakira? Because I don't know if you heard about this. Have you heard about this?
What? No.
That the Shakira at the Mexico kickoff was not the real Shakira.
Oh, that's awesome.
That they had
she's hot too then.
Well,
I'll take either one.
That was one of the issues that they were having with. They say that the hips do lie now because
together,
because they did not look like the Shakira that we're used to. There was some thickness issues there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was very surrealistic. It was like if it was in Mexico, it's a possibility. It was not the real one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you ever heard of this band that plays in Mexico, like 7 places at the same time. What was that? Dinamita? I think it's what it's called. Banda Dinamita, something like that. They play all over the place on the same day for Independence Day or Revolution Day or whatever, and they're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's hilarious. Anyways. Yeah. Well, a lot of wrestling stuff this week, huh? There's been some developments.
We're gonna talk about it. Yeah. So let's talk about this one first in tonight's big topic, our face big question of the week. Did TNA release all the cool people today? I don't know, but
I don't.
We got to talk about Tommy Dreamer for a minute.
Yeah.
Tommy Dreamer was the big one. And I want to talk a little bit about Tessa also. But Tommy Dreamer has been the heart and soul of TNA for a while now. And it was really Tommy and Gail that are part of the reason this place is even, Tommy and Gail are part of the reason that TNA was anything a couple years ago. Gail got released back then. She has kind of a, she likes to talk her stuff when she needs to talk her stuff. Let's just say Gail has never been shy. And so I wasn't surprised. Like if she was butting heads with Carlos Silva and the new guys when they came in, I get it. But Tommy Dreamer stayed on, didn't complain about anything, and was the heart and soul of that place and was really one of their main bookers. I mean, he was pretty much the head of the creative team, not just a member of it. And from what I understand, more and more, they were just being handed what to do next by WWE. And Tommy pushed back a little bit against that, and they just kind of kept rolling on, and it was advice being given by WWE. And now we're to the point where Tommy Dreamer came to a mutual agreement with TNA that he would no longer be contributing his services to them. And that is all code for he got pushed out. He agreed to go because what was going on was some bullshit, frankly speaking. And I get it. Like, if you've seen the TNA product since they went to AMC, it is it's WWE light. It's not been
Ultra.
great.
That's what it's called. Ultra. That's what you have. That Ultra.
It's Mick Ultra of wrestling somehow. It's become this non-offensive, non-interesting thing. And there's a lot of great talent there. I'm not disparaging the talent, and even some of the storylines are okay, but it's not moving the meter like anyone thought it would. Even the ratings were really good at first. Like, realistically speaking, NWA with a horrible roster is killing what TNA is doing to me right now.
Ooh, are you talking about Tiffany again? You want to get in trouble?
No. Tiffany, she's doing amazing things.
Are you talking about my girls, the Hex? I'm going to have the Hex pound on you.
No, but they have...
I'm going to say... Can you clip this, Andy? Can you clip
But
this?
who do they have to fight is my problem. They keep fighting the same people. They need a bigger... NWA is the one wrestling company that probably needs more people.
Yeah, sure. Well, they might...
Actually, Raw might need more people at this point, too, but I'll get into that shortly. Letting Tommy Dreamer go, I get it. You're making some cutbacks, but Tommy can't possibly be that expensive. I get it. He's been there for 10 years almost. He's probably moved his way up. They're streamlining, but streamlining means what? You want a more shit-ass product? You're getting rid of Maclin, who was one of the few guys that had a little bit of buzz. He was fun. He's not like, top surgeon of wrestling or anything, but he's solid. He's more than a good hand, is what I will say for Steve Maclin. More than a good hand. And everybody liked it. And then, you're getting rid of Sami Callahan, who literally his statement was he thought he was getting the phone call because he was getting moved into creative. Instead of getting moved into creative, they told him, yeah, don't bother coming here. You don't go here anymore. This is a guy who runs his own promotion, who has done a lot of match layouts, who is one of the kings of the current deathmatch style layout for a match. He just puts together phenomenal matches. Some of the best stuff that TNA has done in the past few years. He might not have even been the lead agent, but he helped and he would contribute and he helps people get through spots, or he does them. He's one of the reasons Moose has actually become really good at hardcore matches. And his own promotion is great. I can't say enough great things about Sami Callahan. Just a solid dude. So look, if he's on his way back to Ohio to put on more shows here, we're happy to have him. Sorry about your luck over there at TNA, but they don't fucking deserve you anyway, bro. But the Tommy Dreamer thing just blows my mind. It just blows my mind. It was the heart and soul of that place. And anybody who's worked over there in the last 5 years will tell you that. It was Scott D'Amore for a while, and then right behind him was Tommy Dreamer. And you're not going to find a person in the business that cares more about wrestling than Tommy Dreamer. You're just not. So
plus, with all the turmoil at TNA and people quitting over something that happened, or people getting fired because they don't fit new agendas, this or that, he's always been the guy who has stuck around for the sake of the product and the talent.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to fire him, or else it would have been five times ago.
Dude, you can see it on his face, man. That interview that he had with Busted Open, man. Just the emotion going through him. You can see, like, he is wrestling, man. That's all he knows. That's what he is. It's what he does. It's like you could just see the emotion on him, man. How much it was cutting him. Like, he was comparing it to his mother's death. Like, it was.
And here's the thing: 2 p.m. on Tuesday, he's on the afternoon show Off the Ropes with Coach on Busted Open. And he's talking about the crazy pay-per-view schedule. Like, Coach just asked him a general question about, lead-in planning and protecting talent from getting hurt or whatever. And Tommy is already talking 2 pay-per-views deep. He's like, we got to do this. We got to get into Slammiversary. Then we got another pay-per-view after that. And then we're heading into, Bound for Glory. And I'm already thinking, like, how am I going to keep these people healthy? Because I know what the big match for, that I've got planned for Bound for Glory is. This is on Tuesday afternoon that he's talking about all this stuff. And then at 9 a.m. this morning on Busted Open, he's crying to Dave LaGreca in studio about how he was let go yesterday. So it had to have been after his 4 p.m. show. That's basically a call in the evening saying, hey, brother, don't come in tomorrow. Like, I'm not stupid. I put some pieces together here. This isn't like conversations they've been having for a while where they've mutually agreed to go different ways. They called Tommy up and said some shit, and he was like, no. Like, maybe they asked him to take a pay cut or take a step back work with Road Dogg and let Road Dogg be the new lead guy. Which is the other funny part about this. And do not blame me for Tommy Dreamer getting fired, damn it. They've been talking to Road Dogg for weeks about coming into creative at TNA.
Okay, so wait. Let's see how this is playing out.
Oh, shit.
So you had Road Dogg fired, which toppled the dices and made our good friend lose his job at TNA. So this is all Justin's fault. Everybody.
Well, what is our angle? Is our angle that Justin is responsible for TNA becoming better than WWE once Road Dogg takes over? Or are we saying that that for like the 20 to 30 people who enjoy TNA, now they're going to start suffering because Justin sent Road Dogg there?
Yeah, this is how this is going to work out. If TNA becomes good when Road Dogg is there, Justin can claim that he made it better. But if TNA disappears from the face of the earth, this is all Justin's fault.
I gotta say this.
If TNA does become really good and entertaining, then they're gonna lose the top of the card again.
Yeah.
They just lost Sami, didn't they?
Yeah.
I
think that is kind of the case. And look, TNA will become great if Road Dogg takes over, if he's got Jeremy Borash on speed dial. We've seen what Jeremy Borash can do in TNA. We've seen him take that skill over to WWE, and he makes all of their smaller stuff bigger and better. And if TNA is just a fucking shill company for WWE at this point, why not have Borash do it again? Why not have him be on the hotline to whoever? I mean, he jump-started things at AAA and then handed it over to Undertaker. Maybe he can go back down the line, jump-start things at TNA and hand it over to Road Dogg so Road Dogg can have as easy a time with it as Undertaker did. Jeremy Borash gift-wrapped the match of the decade for Undertaker. What could he do at TNA? I mean, he already gave us the whole delete thing at TNA and some of the best vignettes over there, all the good stuff with the aces and eights and all that shit. Like, he was responsible for all that shit. So, look, there's a chance, and maybe a shakeup is what is needed. I can't imagine, however, that you couldn't do the shakeup and keep Tommy there, because Tommy is the kind of guy that's going to be like, yeah, boss, you want to shake things up? You want to do some things different? You want to, hot shot a couple of things around? You want to push a different agenda with some different people? Okay, I'll do that. And this guy sat under the learning tree from Heyman. It's not like Tommy Dreamer's an idiot,
Old school, man, old school.
Now, there have been some very questionable things at TNA. The entire Santana thing, holding the belt off of him or making him drop it immediately and all that crap and then come back, and was real weird. I don't know if that was Tommy or if he was being told to do that for the AMC launch. I believe he was being told to do that for the AMC launch, that he had to pull back on Santana and then drop, put it on Santana when they came over to the new network. the way they did it with Kazarian and whatnot was a fail. And if Tommy was responsible for that, then yeah, maybe Tommy should be the one to go. If he wasn't responsible for that, then yeah, maybe Tommy should say, fuck you guys, I'm going. Either way, it kind of makes sense that Tommy is not going to be there anymore, because to me, what TNA did with Santana was not to elevate Santana, it was to de-elevate their fucking belt. It was a misstep the whole way around. It made them look secondary to WWE the way that it played out.
Yeah.
They should have run with Santana, kept it on him leading into the AMC thing, and then when they get to AMC and they're on the new network, they've got a ready-built champion that people already know and love to be there on the network and be the face of the entire thing. Instead, the most exciting thing that's happening at TNA is people getting fired from TNA.
Is also, to your point, Santana, through his ups and downs, aside, he is a bigger star than Kazarian and has been for like the last decade, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
I would imagine both of them are probably out of there. I'm imagining Nick Nemeth is probably gone. I'm imagining Kazarian might be gone. And I'm pretty sure Santana's contract is up in July. And if they're really talking about streamlining, those are some of the biggest paychecks over there. So
Where
I
do they
gotta
go?
think. I think Santana just goes right over to NXT at this point.
Like
why wouldn't you? The men's division is starting to heal up a little bit, but the gutting and call ups from NXT in the male division hurt that side way more than the women's division at NXT. The women's division is so deep at NXT, you could take another 10 girls and it's still good. The men's division, they've got like 4 guys, and other than that, like they could use a little fresh blood.
I would say even Oba was the only standout that I would think of when I would think of Santana coming in, and what real estate does he have to work in? It's kind of like there's Oba and then there's a bunch of other guys, and I know there's names like Ricky Saints and stuff, but like Santana would come in and be at the top, and then they took Oba, they promoted him, and I know you have like Evil and you have people.
Santana versus Evil would be great.
I thought Tony D'Angelo has been there for a long time as well. I'm surprised they haven't pushed him out as either.
No, they had to keep Tony because Tony just came back from an injury, so he didn't have as much momentum as even Javon and some of those other guys. So yeah, you leave Tony D'Angelo there, he becomes kind of the baby face that's been there for a while that kind of can lead the locker room. And then you bring in Evil, a guy who's been around for a long time, who just needs to learn the WWE way. So now you've got those guys who are kind of elevated, and you're bringing up some other talent around them. If you put a Santana in there, a guy who at that point would have been in every major locker room from MLW, AEW, TNA, you put him in there, you're good to go.
He's a good guy to have in the locker room in general.
He is now.
All those kids. Now.
He is now. Let's keep
but
it
for
real.
For that reason, that does make him a better person to be in the locker room now, because let's be real, you have a bunch of kids in that locker room and in every wrestling locker room at that age who are just itching to make all the same mistakes he did, because it's not like he is necessarily that his pitfalls are not necessarily a unique story in wrestling. The other half of it, the inspiring half, is and it's a story of caution as well, that he can also hopefully keep some of them out of that sort of stuff.
I agree. And hopefully what's that?
Do you think he's a good locker room leader for like the youth of NXT?
Yeah.
I
think
the guy who he is now has matured so much, and he had his phase of being just a dumb idiot. He had that phase. He did it. He had his issues. He cleaned up his act. He's taking care of his daughter. He's handling his business now. He got his head screwed on straight. And even when it came to the stuff with Ortiz, he was just like, man, I have a vision of being something more. Like, my aspirations are for more than what you want. So we got to go separate ways, man. It's nothing personal. Like, I gotta get to what I got to get to. Yeah. And so he did, And that's even admirable. He just manned up and said, you're my dog, but I gotta bet on myself. Yeah. And you see where it's taken him. Like, he got somewhere, but Ortiz is not doing a whole lot. He's hanging out with Eddie Kingston, like doing a match once a month on Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
There's
a lot that people could learn, like the youth could learn from someone like him who's been through those, like you said, mistakes and stuff like that. So
yeah.
That's where he could be an advantage to him, but if he's got his head screwed on, that's the only thing. But you're saying that he does.
So here's the interesting thing about what's going on in TNA. Other than Sami Callahan, these haven't been releases. These haven't been people who were fired. These have been people who opted out, including Tommy, from what it sounds like. So with Maclin had wanted out for a little while, and he asked, and because they were getting ready to start this train, they were just like, okay, yeah, go. We're okay with that. Bye. And then, with Tessa, it was the same thing. She was like, look, guys, CMLL is giving me a lot of dates. They're paying for most of my travel. They're paying more for me than you guys are. Like, I'd love to be here, but I got asked out when all the WWE stuff came through, and I get booed. You guys aren't doing anything, or they had her wrestling a backstage reporter on a pay-per-view once. I mean, it's like, and don't get me wrong, it's like if they have an issue with Tessa, okay, that's fine. But at the same time, like, she can have an issue with them too, and be like, hey guys, I'm out. CMLL's treating me better. They got more dates for me. They're paying me better. I'm getting good exposure from it. My boyfriend's a luchador. So yeah, I think Tessa got to the point was like, hey, are you guys going to do something for me? Am I involved in any of the WWE stuff? Like, do I get any kind of push, or am I just kind of hanging on here and just, doing run of the mill shit for you guys? And the answer, I think, was, yeah, run of the mill shit. And she was like, okay, going to CMLL,
She's in a bit of a crossfire there between promotions.
Yeah, I mean, and it was weird too, because again, I think she was getting shit on because of CMLL, because that's connected to Tony and AEW, and TNA is connected to WWE. She was the one person who was kind of in both worlds, though she doesn't work for AEW at all. I'm sure CMLL wants to be able to have her work against AEW talent, but she can't go down there and work Persephone or Thunder or any of those people because they're AEW. And it's
a weird spot.
Yeah,
she's like, she's not allowed to work featured matches in both companies she works in.
Yeah. And
she's getting like the worst side of both deals.
And so, but let's not pussyfoot about it. Like, we all know that Tessa wanted to get back to the WWE. She's ring wise and ability wise perfect to be in NXT and then move up to the main roster within a year or two at this point. She wasn't before, but she is now. And the WWE doesn't seem to care. They don't care that she's Tully's kid. They don't care that she's doing this, that, or the other thing. It just seems like they don't have any interest. And if that's the case, and her dream is not going to work there, I think she's smart to pivot. She should go the CMLL route, and she should try to get herself into AEW. She should. And you can say whatever you want to say about her and her past or whatever, and maybe she's made the correct atonements for that, or maybe she hasn't. But as a professional, she'd be a damn fool to not be looking for whatever her avenues are to the level of success that she wants. As an athlete, she is poised to be in a great position. Like Tessa versus Tekla in AEW, that would make perfect sense. Now, has she done the right things PR-wise to get herself to that position? I don't know.
Yeah, see, the thing is, she's getting those chants and those reactions in TNA.
Yes.
From a smart crowd in TNA.
Yes.
If she were to go to WWE, that wouldn't happen. Maybe it wouldn't it wouldn't last if it even did in WWE.
Well, I think that's why she wanted to try to get back there.
But AEW has that smart crowd, for lack of a better term. I don't know if that's the most, not to be insulting, but they have that type of crowd that is more in tune or places a lot of more importance in the outside of the ring stuff than in WWE. So those reactions that you saw in TNA, you're going to see in AEW. In AEW,
do you think so? Okay. So then this becomes my question, and Tony, I want you to chime in on this too, because let's be honest, Tessa, if she went to CMLL and then went up the ladder and somehow got into AEW, would be a great addition to that style. Just talking the in-ring stuff. So what is it that you think she has to do to make that smart crowd accept her? Is there anything, or is it hopeless?
She's so well cemented in CMLL. She had a couple of matches during the weekend, and she's just really, really part of CMLL.
Right.
She's like, and
it's a permanent home right now. So
it is where she is based right now, I guess, because now the TNA is no longer part of it. But I don't know if she really wants to come to AEW at this point, because she does have a home in Mexico City. That's where she resides. And what she has to do to be in here, well, especially because of the kind of public that AEW has.
That's what Byron was saying.
It will be very complicated, and I think she will need to come out and have a serious conversation of whatever happened in order for that to be a difference maker. But I don't think that that's on her priorities on right now. I think her priorities are...
Well, I mean, I don't think it is today, especially. I mean, right now, I think her primary goal should just be getting the hell out of Dodge and not letting TNA disrespect her, regardless of whatever she's done in the past. Like, clearly the situation there was disrespectful to her as an employee, I think. I think that she wasn't getting the attention from WWE. She was getting sidelined and put in crappy stories. She should not be wrestling backstage interviewers. I don't think that they were giving her any solid reason to choose TNA over CMLL. I think CMLL has given her better dates, better opponents, better respect. She's got the crowd that feels her down there. Absolutely. Picking CMLL over TNA is a no-brainer to me. But I gotta think that knowing Tessa, she's gonna eventually want more. I mean, this is a girl who was a men's world champion at one point in time. This is a woman that wanted to go back to WWE, and she wanted that WWE women's champion. She wanted her WrestleMania moment.
Her comparable is like Jordan Grace.
Yes, 100%.
Well, people's goals change. Like, I don't pretend to know what she thinks, but every time I see her in Mexico City, she is truly happy with what she's doing over there and the places she's going. Like, and she knows the in and out of everything. It's like she's very comfortable. She knows how every arena works.
Right. And they're all different, by the way.
And you have no idea how, like, we say that, like, oh, they're different. No, they are really different. The people, and it's like in Mexico City, when you go to Coliseo and you go to Arena Mexico, it's like you just went to like Japan and then you go to Russia.
Right.
It's completely different crowds, like out of like personal experience. Like, Thunder is beloved in Coliseo. Like, she can do whatever she wants while she's there. She can dance for 30 minutes and people would just be happy with that. But when she goes to Arena, she has to like really like do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she has to like show up and all that stuff. So I don't know. I guess you can think of what she might want to do in the future, but I think right now departing for TNA, I think it's the best for her because she gets to stay in a place where she's liked. She gets to do the wrestling that she likes. And yes, AEW, it's adjacent to CMLL, and I guess it's kind of like the goal. But I think that's more of a goal for the Mexicans that work at CMLL, whereas she does not fall into that part because she has already been here. And if we think about it, all the American promotions have not been good to her or had not fit into whatever she wants. Whereas CMLL has embraced her and given her a home.
I agree.
If you think about the future,
look, maybe it's selfish because I want to see Marina Shafir and Tessa Blanchard knock each other's teeth out. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I was a big fan of Tessa's TNA run when she got the men's world title. That whole year leading up to that was absolutely amazing. And you tell me there's a talent that entertained me on that level that's out there, I'm going to want to see that talent in storylines that I like. And if that requires some level of redemption with the AEW fans, it's like, to me, I get where Tessa's at in people's minds. I get why she's semi-canceled, why she gets the harassment that she gets from the fans. I get it. But in my heart of hearts, do I think Jericho's probably worse? Yeah.
Well, this is my thing, and this is something that I'm not out here to defend anybody. And
no,
yes,
not either.
And yes, I've every time I have an interaction with Tessa, it's a positive interaction, and she's been great to me personally.
I've heard the same from cameramen working on the shows
every time I get to see her and share a moment in the locker room or whatever we are, she has been great. And this is my thing, and this is something that I always say, and it's like, because she's a woman, she does not get a redemption arc. And there's worse things out there that other guys have done, and they still, number one in the planet.
Right.
And I think that, there should be at least a moment to come back and try to have that. Unfortunately, TNA did not know what they were doing with her either.
No, and TNA doesn't have a real PR department, and it's like they're leaving it to her on her own. So I'm just wondering if that is the path for her. I just think it's weird because you talk to people that have been around her, and some of her friends, like, even talked to Red Velvet once about her, and Red was just like, basically was saying that Tessa's a woman who's learned her lesson. She just doesn't feel she has to explain that to everyone that she's learned it. It was like,
and that's valid.
Sense.
I mean, that's valid. You don't have to, like, if you have growth as a human, you don't have to go around explaining how you grew from whatever you came from, right?
But it's an industry based on perception, so maybe you do, but you don't. But you do if you want the paycheck.
Yes, that's correct. That's fair.
You do if you want the Mark's money to buy your T-shirt that's at the AEW show. You know what I mean? Like, but also, Jericho's back on TV.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, why?
He was so canceled with the AEW fans, and now they're popping for him. They're singing Judas again.
Okay, but check this out. And this is a point that I made.
And he didn't apologize
on the show.
Exactly, that's my point. He didn't come out and be like, "Well, I did something, and it made everybody salty." Now,
but he did something different. He still was smart about it, and that's a point that I was trying to make a while ago, probably off the show. Is to be a white man getting into trouble like this, you have the easiest path to redemption. And Tessa is pretty adjacent to that area where she could have had a very easy path to redemption, where she says, I'm sorry. She has good behavior. I mean, it's not like you see her not get along with coworkers of all backgrounds and skin colors and whatever now.
Well, I don't see that.
Like, you don't see her getting into trouble with anyone now, right?
Yeah.
But she did.
You know what? she's a facilitator. She tells you where to go. She tells you what to do. She tells you like this is things that I wouldn't have been asked. Like,
right,
you can get therapy or whatever and all that stuff. Like, I see the opposite of that. So I do see a growth on her.
But my point is, she doesn't do the obvious PR thing of saying, "I did bad. I'm sorry. It won't happen again." You tuck your tail between your legs and you just give it like a week or two, and then people are happy to be your fan again. She didn't really do that. She tiptoed or stumbled through it or was stubborn about it. It's just she didn't do the thing. Jericho was smart. He's like, he figured out these people. And I don't know if I'm going to be saying too much. I probably won't. But Jericho figured out these people are mad at me about a thing that they know about or is rumored. I'm not going to address the thing, but I'm going to instead be a character that they boo. So eventually they're going to get used to booing me because I want to be booed.
Right.
And then eventually everyone was on the same page, and then we just kept moving forward. He did a magic trick because remember, he's a magician.
Correct. I get it.
He distracted them. Yeah, he distracted them, and then it was on the other hand. Yeah.
So, but she isn't doing any of that, and she didn't.
And it wasn't just that. Like I said this back then. The issue with Tessa was not even so much that as the fact that all of a sudden people thought she was being weird with the title at TNA too, and being entitled.
That too.
And it was like that almost hurt more, even though that's the part that nobody remembers now and nobody has an issue with now, because she's proven that part wasn't entirely true and that there wasn't a whole lot to that, and that she just was in Mexico and blah, blah, blah. And TNA wasn't really being reasonable and she wasn't being reasonable back. And it was just normal backstage politics, wrestler stuff. And that hurt her as much as anything, because then people are mad about that, but then they're claiming it's the other thing. I don't know.
And it all just kind of lumps together.
Right.
And like with the Jericho thing and the booing, people forget the specifics and they just kind of notice where they are. And it's like, oh, we don't like Tessa. Oh yeah, she's a bad employee. But you forgot all the details that led up to that.
Right.
So then, yeah.
Well, I just find it interesting. I do think, though, in this grand scheme of TNA, for her especially, good riddance. For Maclin, great, be gone. Like, bro, they don't deserve you. Honestly, this may sound weird. I would love to see Maclin go to NWA. I think Maclin could be the NWA champ tomorrow. Nothing against Thrillbilly, but I'm just saying that, like, Maclin could go do what Latimer did, could go do what both of your WWE GMs did. You know, I think that he could be the face of that company overnight.
It's wild to think how what used to be with the champs you had. I mean, and you had Eddie Kingston and LA Knight playing like side roles. They were stacked. They had Thunder Rosa as a champ.
Yeah. And they can still, and TNA or NWA can still do that. Billy Corgan, however, is smart. His roster is real tight. And
Billy,
he has to keep it that way, because he doesn't want to make the mistake that TNA is making and has made. Everyone thought that TNA was going to do this deal and make more money, but like, their TV deal is worth almost nothing. You know, if you look at what AEW and WWE spend to run a show, they spend anywhere from $300,000 to $1 million on one episode. TNA can't do that. You know, they can't afford talent that can do that. They can't afford the pyro, the staging, the moving stuff around, the trucks, the production people. They can't afford that on the TV deal that they are getting right now. And if they get the rights up, eventually they can afford it. But people forget that even WWE has had to go through their streamlining periods. After they built the stupid Thunderdome and got their ass kicked by the pandemic, they had to gut their staff too. They had to streamline for a while. And they did it once before that in 2017. They had to streamline for a while where they got back to, okay, the house shows and the circuit has to be able to pay every bill so that the TV rights deal is purely extra because we need to invest that in doing bigger and better stuff so we can bring the advertising back so we can sell this fucking company. Like, people understand the bigger business side of all of this crap. And for TNA, I don't blame them. Yeah, they probably do need to streamline. So what are they going to do? They're going to have to pick like 8 to 10 up-and-comers that are really, really worth it, that they can build a show around. And then they got to figure out which staple names they're going to keep, which is obviously going to be Matt and Jeff Hardy because they're WWE guys. Maybe it's Nick Nemeth. Maybe it's not. At this point in time, I don't know. It probably, his level of goodwill with the main company probably will determine whether or not he's one of the guys they try to keep. But he's not cheap. So I could see him being gone. I could see Kazarian being gone. Kazarian's been around a long time, and he's pricey.
You know,
where does he go? Where do you go, Kazarian, to sell tickets?
Well, Justin wants to send everybody to NWA, so I guess that's what it is.
I don't think Kazarian goes to NWA. I don't know where Kazarian goes.
Yeah, he's somebody that the youth.
How old is he?
42.
Oh, he's young. He's young as fuck.
What?
Maybe he's older than that. Hold on.
I thought he was older, but he's just he takes really great care of himself and has kept him in the game.
He really does.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm sorry, he's 48. 48.
I got a little piece there, but he's 48.
48.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him, as you could tell by the.
No, but I mean, like, where does he go? 3 years ago, I would have said AAA.
I don't know. Was he? He's been in AAA.
I don't think he can move. I don't think he can move that way anymore. But
he does okay.
He does all right. For 48, he's looking great and probably still moves all right. But
I mean, you know, maybe he goes back to AEW as a coach. I don't know.
That's probably the role he's more suited for. And you're speaking about
but they tried to put him in that role already. I mean, look, all his homies are in that role. You know, Scorps and hanging on by a thread.
Put him on TV. First of all, TK, put him on TV. Everyone call TK's personal phone number right now.
Bear, what's Bear? Send his number.
Bear, where's Bear? Get TK on the phone. Put him on FaceTime. Get Scorpio on TV. You're going to get 7 to 10 good minutes of TV out of him.
But I mean, Daniels is in the back, and even Jay Lethal does a lot of stuff in the back, and Sanjay's in the back, and all those other X Division guys from Kazarian's era are in the back somewhere, or they're even over at AEW in the back, or WWE. I mean, like those guys, that whole X Division run of guys became something, which is really awesome because they were all undersized and not really planned on being big names in the business, but they all found their ways in the good agent jobs or working in the back, and they're really knowledgeable guys.
That goes into we're dumping on TNA, but that goes into one of the things. TNA has done some stuff better than anyone else in wrestling. If you take TNA's entire history, you can find more than a handful of things they were tops at. They were better than anyone else. The X Division was taking those guys. It wasn't a cruiserweight division. It was, these guys are not WWE main eventers, and they made them the main event and the main attraction of a show because they all had it. And now it's a testament to that they are now running backstage and still making the wrestling that we sometimes enjoy.
Part of what made that work, and part of what is missing in wrestling overall, was the booking committee system that they had, where they had a few guys from the office, usually a couple of the boys who were in there. It was the hybrid idea between WWE and what AEW is now. AEW, when it first started, was basically the boys doing whatever the hell they wanted, and if you couldn't get yourself over, you weren't going to get over because Tony Khan wasn't going to write you to get over. And WWE is this, we're going to put over whoever we like, regardless of who's getting over, and the boys don't have anything to do with it. The creative's going to decide, Vince is going to decide, this, that, and the other thing. Well, TNA kind of had that old WCW system of like, it was a lot of guys who had managed, a lot of guys who've been around, announcer guys types, you know, people who were active wrestlers, you know, like Disco was in the booking committee over there for a while, for Christ's sakes. Like, you know, but that's a good way to go. You put a real manager, a real office guy in a room with Vince Russo and Disco Inferno and a couple of other people who've been around the block, and you're probably going to get a solid TV show because everyone's going to throw something in that makes sense for a different part of the business. TNA's not doing that right now.
You know what you do? You bring the 6 sides back, mate. Bring the 6 sides. It was different. It was good. It was innovative.
It's bad for workers.
The wrestlers hated it though, bro.
Learn the Ric Flair bump, you dickheads.
You know who loved it?
Back on that shit. It looks cool on TV.
Booker T.
I loved it. It was great.
But every time I hear of Disco as a booker, like, yeah, he does understand wrestling and he does understand working, blah, blah, blah. But I think of 2 things that make me crack up. One, during the Filthy Animals, somehow he got in the Filthy Animals and he spelled his name with a Q.
Right, Disco.
And we forget about that. And then also there was a gimmick they wouldn't let him write in WCW as a failed pitch of like of a wrestler, an invisible wrestler who rode a magic carpet or something.
Well, no wonder. No wonder.
But you need that. You need a guy that's not afraid to throw out ridiculousness in the room because then it will bring people back down to the fun, normal idea that actually might work.
Yeah. Okay. So that he's like, he's like, okay, we're gonna have an invisible guy on a rug, right? And they're like, let's have a happy medium and put horns on Rey Mysterio.
I don't know. That kind of sounds like a little racist there. To I don't know.
Well, I mean, okay, you met the guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, TNA, jury's out on you.
Before we move on, because I wasn't here when the only thing that I don't like about this, and we're always talking about optics and the perception of things, the only thing is that I don't like the idea that we're cutting Tommy Dreamer because we need to improve this. That is going to linger there, and I don't think that's fair for Tommy Dreamer.
I think that's why they say it was a mutual thing, though. Because
everyone knows
that's the standard. Oh wow, I didn't know.
No, Justin celebrating Tommy Dreamer getting fired.
Wow.
No, but they did that press release and they're like, we're streamlining, right? And then they go, yeah, so that's why we're gonna fire these 2 specific people.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't like that part. It's unfair to both of them. Number one, Tommy. I
don't think the plan was for those people to leave right now, as I said earlier. There is a plan to release more people, from what I understand. These people are people that they went to or that came to them, except for Sami Callahan. I don't know how Sami got caught up in this. Maybe it was just when his contract was up or something. But there are more people coming, from what I understand. And I think they went to Tommy with a pitch. I think the pitch was for him to take a backseat to someone else and maybe even less money. And Tommy said, hey, guys, I think we should part ways right now instead of doing that. And they came to a mutual agreement.
Whatever.
Then their hand was forced because now you got Maclin gone, you got Tessa gone, and you got Tommy gone. So now their hand is forced where they have to say, yeah, people were making some cuts.
Yeah, but then this is more of a fire sale then. That's really in trouble. Maybe they're in trouble with their contract. They are not getting the numbers that we're supposed to be getting. And
it's not that they're not getting the numbers. It's that the amount of money that they're getting for the numbers doesn't make sense. They're underpaid. Everyone thought TNA was going to be making all this extra money. Yes, the deal is better than the Access deal, but also, WWE and AMC have been forcing them to do a higher level of production quality, to tour more, to do things that they can't afford to do. TNA does not have the money. And does that hurt WWE? No. WWE can keep pushing them. And if TNA goes belly up, then WWE will just buy them up for nothing.
And okay, so just as a conclusion here, and I like, because I want to make this point clear here, and I don't know how to express this better, but the bad guy here is TNA, not Tommy Dreamer, not Maclin, and not Tessa. Just say.
Yeah.
I think the bad guy here might be WWE and AMC.
I don't know. Why would you got in bed with you got in bed with WWE? You thought you were going to, hop on the train to the gravy money with Netflix and other stuff, and all you did was cancel date with other wrestlers and suspend like matches that we were all wanted to see, and then you start firing people that are valuable to the industry.
So but you tell me who's the bad guy? The guy who does the deal with the devil or the fucking devil?
Both of them are able.
Well, one's an idiot and the other's the devil.
Get in the bed with the devil.
Yeah. I also think this is just the life cycle of TNA.
Yeah.
They do well, and then they crash and burn, and then they have to fire AJ Styles for some reason, and then they suck, and then all of a sudden Ethan Page has a character where he does Taekwondo and people enjoy it again, and then those people get fired.
Why is that the thing that brought you back? It was fun,
but it's a cycle. Right now they're doing the TNA thing where they fuck everyone off, and it sucks, but everyone talks about it, and then in 3 months it's gonna be fun again, and then in 6 months it's gonna be this again.
Yeah, and if you're a smart wrestler, you go in there, you get your 6 or 7 month storyline, and then you fade out. Like, look what they did for Big Bill. Big Bill got ousted from WWE, was damaged goods. Him and Enzo were bad news. He got himself together. He went over to TNA for a year. He did some fun stuff, and then got himself into AEW and got himself into a good position.
What's the go with those two, by the way? Enzo and Big Castle Bill, whatever you want to call him.
Like, I mean, there's rumors that they're going to end up over in WWE again. I think it'd be amazing if they did.
I bet they will, and I think they're doing a thing where everyone figured it out when they decided to make it happen. So then you cool it off for like a month or two, and then they do it when people forgot, and it's fun.
Yeah, pop it someplace fun anyway, because you don't want them in Saudi Arabia anyway, so why do it now?
Well, can you even bring one of them?
You can't take Enzo to Saudi Arabia.
Well, there were rumors that Enzo was floating around in the performance center. And I was thinking, like, how could you utilize him? You could utilize him as a singles wrestler, but I mean, if you're going to bring him back, you got to bring him back as a tag team, right? But if you ran him through the NXT division with somebody like Tony D'Angelo, they could have a storyline there and wait for Big Cass to come on.
Well, I mean, the talent he has, I think you could write storylines for him. You could plug him into any creative that you're doing, but I haven't really seen him since he got fired. I know when he was up in the cruiserweight division, he was the shittiest worker, but he was the most over, and he was getting other people over by association until he got fired. Have you guys seen him work since? I mean, I have to think Enzo hasn't gotten in trouble like literally once since he got fired.
Okay,
right?
so one thing again, again, I'm not defending anybody, but weren't his allegations dropped?
Yes.
Because there was not sufficient evidence?
Correct. But the biggest issue with Enzo was he was a fucking idiot backstage at WWE. He was bringing his entourage to party backstage during TV.
It wasn't just an allegation. It was that.
That was the bigger problem, because everybody in the locker room was like, you're an idiot. We don't want to be around you. You're messing up my workspace, bro. And you have no respect for this industry that the rest of us have been fighting our way through.
That's more of a organizational problem. They cannot come in. That's it.
But like the
right, but my whole thing is, all he was doing was exactly what AEW was like for the first 3 years. He was backstage with his clique, hanging in his way with his people, enjoying his time. Like, remember when AEW was like that? It was like backstage is like there's a pocket of these guys. Orange Cassidy and his friends are over here, and over here is the Young Bucks and their people, and over here's all the Mexican dudes at catering, and over here,
why you put Mexicans and catering in the same sentence?
Because they're the ones that are smart enough to get the free meal out of Tony at least. Everybody else is trying to figure out how to suck up to him. The Latino guys are like, "Hey, man, let's go eat."
What's that?
They brought us here. Fuck it.
What's that accent?
You know, just saying.
I cannot wait for you both to come to Mexico. It's gonna be fun.
What's going on, everyone?
So
we are going. By the way, Mexico is happening. Everybody, more soon.
Yeah, I wonder how long is it gonna take for Byron to lose
virginity?
No, a kidney or something.
Got him.
Why? No, people love me. Why would they steal my kidney?
No, I tried to take him to Tijuana for that last time so I could make a little bit of commission on it, but they looked at him and they were like, "Is that jaundice? What? I don't know if we can do this."
No, I'm chill. Everyone, I'm down with everyone.
It wasn't that so much. They liked you plenty. They just didn't want to harvest your organs because you looked sickly at the time. It was when you were making the movie.
I got plenty of Mexican friends. None of them have tried to take my kidneys.
Again,
I'll get them on the phone right now.
There's a reason for that. It's more the jaundice than
respect. A mutual respect. One of my friends went up to me. We were over at someone's house once, and he goes, "How
is Aaron the one who says Happy Father's Day to me, and my own kids don't even say Happy Father's Day to me?
This is not even Sunday yet. What the fuck?"
What?
Yeah, that's why they don't say to you, Justin. It's fucking Wednesday.
What the fuck? You needy.
Hey, how come no one said Merry Christmas to me?
Because you're Jewish?
Hey, guys.
Well, that too.
The following announcement has been paid for by Face.
So my son, he's about to graduate from high school. I gave him a gift. You know what I gave him? The Face travel kit. Dude, stop using my stuff. Get out of my house. Go to college. But then he says, "Dad, what do you want for Father's Day?" And the thing that makes a dad really appreciate Father's Day is opening up a gift that he might actually use. Something that says, "Dad, we respect you. We know you have needs too. You need your own face moment. Dads deserve their own face moment. Do the right thing, kid. Get me something like this." Fresh just came in. The 24K Golden Hour Eye Mask set. You get 6 pairs in the box. Dad's gonna love this.
Oh, hi. So I'm going to do this right now. When you're going to use one of these things, you want to wash your face, and then you spray with a toner.
That's 1 and 2. The 24K Pure Gold Dermatologist tested. It's powered by patented K-Beauty complexes. It's sensitive skin friendly, medical grade patented hydrogel. It's intensive hydration and soothing effects for your face.
Did you guys see this pro tip? You store the mask in the fridge for added cooling effects for best results.
By the way, this is a Korean skincare company, just to remind you guys.
It's that K-Beauty technology and the Face, y'all.
I got him on the whole show.
Computer set timer for 30 minutes.
But you can just do that?
Yeah, bro. Haven't you ever seen Star Trek? Just go to the website, check it out. It's omeface.com. That's HOMMEFACE.com. Use our code MMM20 and you will not regret it. If you're just getting started with Face, go for the travel kit.
They also have anti-aging stuff. The Trios kit.
The face wash, toner, and moisturizer. Perfect combo. Still use it every day.
They got something for everyone.
If you don't get your father something nice this year that he actually cares about, it's on you. If your father whoops your ass, it's on you. My son uses the Face. I get him the Face every chance I can for a gift. I got it for his graduation tomorrow. Give me some. You got a month. Figure it out. Scrape together. Get your summer job, man. MMM20. You even get the better discount because your dad knows things. Your dad's got the hookup.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So are we promoting dads whooping the asses of their children?
I certainly hope so.
Okay.
We would never think that about you again, Rebecca. My kids suck, bro. I don't know. My daughter's on a plane to Europe right now. That's my Father's Day gift. I get to spend thousands of dollars for her to go to Europe.
Nice. I need one of those.
She didn't even leave a card. I don't see any gift. I don't think she even got me a present. I'm pretty sure my son got me some Own Face because I told him I was going to take away all the Own Face I got him if he didn't.
He's going to give you his leftovers and buy himself new ones.
He's just going to. No, you know what he's going to do? Yeah, he's going to take a bottle of Own Face that he's already used, and he's going to put like some Jergens or something in there and give it back to me. And be like, here, Dad, I got you some Own Face, and I'm going to be rumming some. So if you see my face all jacked up, it's because my kid's a jerk. It's not because the Own Face is bad. Yeah, you know. I want to talk a little bit about the WWE because a lot of people who watch wrestling like when we talk about the big boys. So I briefly want to talk about the big boys. I'm curious. I didn't watch it when it happened, and I unfortunately was not able to be on Raw Dogging this week, and I'd love to know what Meef thought, but it was a very different feeling episode of Raw this week, and in general, WWE's felt a little bit different. And it's because Roman is only there this week. It sounds like he's not going to be on the next couple of weeks. He's not going to Saudi as far as they've announced. So they gave us like an hour and a half of Roman storylines in one episode. So my question for you guys, did that make Raw better? Did it make it worse? Less wrestling, more story? Is any of this story working? I don't know. Does it need more LA Knight?
Fuck no. Sorry, excuse my French.
Pardon my French.
He's doing very good solid work, by the way, in WWE. Not that any of it matters. And not that, okay, so now he's been calling himself Unchosen for like a year now.
Dude, he went in the ring and rolled around like a little pansy and cried and had a little tanty time, mate. Little tears. Oh, poor old me, LA Knight. Like, bugger off, man. Come on. You're joking me, man. You're joking? Like,
well, what's he supposed to do at this point? I mean, he's damaged goods. He was poised to be in a great spot. They didn't pull the trigger.
Useless.
He's your Finn Balor. He's your guy that they didn't pull the trigger on.
No, it's a little different. It's a little different because Finn has been a huge success, and the trigger has been pulled. Bullet Club pun everywhere except the main roster after his shoulder injury.
Finn's great.
Well, yeah, I mean, LA Knight got to fight for the $1 million belt. You remember that, right?
Oh, I forgot about that. Do you know how unfitting that is of him? That feels
like him and Cameron Grimes. That was a great storyline.
That feels like the Cameron Grimes that was awesome. He was great with that. It fit him, but it feels like those gimmick WWE photos where they take a picture of a current young wrestler with like the Andre World Championship belt. Right. It's like, here's a belt from two generations ago they never wore. Like,
as soon as that $1 million belt came out, and I was like, oh yeah, Sean Ricker's the perfect guy for that, to be in that. And Cameron Grimes with his whole
program is great.
That's why LA Knight got to the main roster. People forget about that program. That program was genius. And Cameron and LA Knight did great promo work, and the wrestling was fun too. I mean, like, they did some fun stuff. They did that ladder thing. Like, they did some good shit. Anyway, I digress. I'm really interested in what you guys think of the Roman of it all, because WWE has this like Roman is our savior complex, and they spent all this time on Roman, and I found myself really enjoying a lot of it. And I liked the whisper thing, and I like kind of the Paul Heyman storytelling of it all. But then there was a lot of it where I was like, does where this is going matter?
Poor Eric Andre for a start. My God, he just got dismantled in that ring with the splashing of twice.
Yeah, but that's heat. That worked for me. That's heat, baby.
Ribs and shit in your dacks, mate. I'm telling you, like he didn't look good. Anyway. I don't know. I think like, what are you supposed to do with the storyline? Like, it is. They need to set something up where it's going to be, it's going to draw you in, right? But you said that he's not only going to be there for this week, one more show, or is he going away now? Or
I don't think he's around for the next couple of weeks. It was like they did this whole thing to be like, okay, Jacob, now you are ordained to do my work for me while I'm gone, like the Usos did, that made this storyline so good in the first place. And maybe that does work. Maybe the whole like Roman comes in, he sets stuff up, they get some really good footage for the package, and then he disappears for a couple weeks.
And then shit goes AWOL.
Now, maybe he's doing a run-in in Saudi. Maybe Brock's doing a run-in in Saudi. But from what I've heard, it looks like those guys aren't there because they have these big contracts. They've already been paid money, and they expect to get paid more money to do Saudi Arabia, and they're not going to be. So they're not going to be on the card.
I think they're going to set up an angle here somehow, like where it's Roman goes away, Jacob's left in charge. Usos aren't going to like it. You've got the King of the Ring coming up, right? And I think I was talking about this with Meef on Raw Dogging. We think it's going to come down to Jey Uso versus Oba.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I just remembered my reaction when I saw Monday the results of who won that match, and it was Jey Uso out of the 4 options.
Right,
and it's just like you can have an option of crossing the street, but here's what they did: you could have an option of like crossing the street when it's the light and going into an ice cream store and getting a nice cone of ice cream, or you could just walk into the middle of the street and lie down and wait for a bus to run over your head.
So,
and they chose the second one.
Let me throw something out at you, Byron. How would you feel? How would you feel if WWE managed to secretly fly Brock in to Saudi Arabia and he costs Obafemi the win against Jey Uso? So Jey Uso wins Obafemi's crown, and now you have a reason for the Oba Brock SummerSlam fight.
Right.
Is that any good or is that horrible?
And on the opposite end, I got you there. On the opposite end, this is exactly what I pitched on the show. On the other end, you've got now Jey Uso, who's the King of the Ring, who'll get a world championship shot, and he was the one that stood against the Bloodline in the first place last time round. Now he's going to take on Roman. You see what I'm saying?
Then Jacob is going to take out Jay and totally destroy.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. I understand the math of it all, and I understand the heat on Jay makes Oba losing that much more pain. It puts more heat on Oba losing, puts more heat into the Oba Brock feud, which is the bigger thing that we're trying to serve. So cool, right? And
I don't think you'll lose either way, personally, because you either do exactly that, or Oba wins and he is the King of the Ring and he's the ruler, which also is great.
I think Oba.
I think you win either way.
I think that would be a great run for Oba
as King of the Ring.
As King of the Ring,
better than Booker T.
I think King would be a great run for Oba. I don't want to compare it to another black wrestler with the crown.
Wait. They're not. No. Booker T is a black wrestler. Obafemi is not a black wrestler.
Black. Hold on.
No, he's not.
Obafemi is an African.
African.
So Booker T was Black Reign, by the way, right, in TNA. And since we're talking about TNA, I mentioned this earlier. I have to mention again because it makes me laugh. One of my favorite moments is when Booker T was doing his own play-by-play on TV.
I know.
While he was kicking people's asses in the ring. It was so good.
Yeah. But you get like he's not gonna get up from that one. Oh, I'm gonna kick him again.
Kick to the face. He's so good. He's way smarter than he wants people to think he is, I think. But
yeah,
Booker as world champ wasn't Booker T. That's when he did a whole new gimmick, King Booker, and he brought his wife in there, and it was incredible. Right,
Queen Charmel. Without having to win a tournament, she was Queen Charmel. Love it.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she didn't earn that, but good for her anyway. So Oba isn't going to go in there and work a new gimmick all of a sudden. He's a completely different thing. I think, though, him it would work with him being this big brute that is bigger and tougher than everyone. He should be king of the ring. He should be world champion. He should be the top of the mountain, of the top of the food chain in WWE. I think the math works with Jey Uso on paper. He's over, Bloodline storylines as well. He should be the one to challenge.
I mean, I think that's
Roman.
what they're doing.
But
I think they're just doing it for the storyline. I don't think
But
it's the
here's the
best
thing.
thing for business, personally. But
Here's the thing with Jay, though. He is super over, and he has legitimized himself as main event Jey Uso, but he sucks in every single segment and performance that he does now. And it's not because he's not good enough. It's because he doesn't try. It's because he gets too high beforehand. And he's like, let's just wing it. Ooze, let's blah, 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 blah. And you just see him. And it takes me out. Because
he may be legal, but there are still some negative side effects, just like drinking alcohol.
The guy's naked by the time he goes out to his entrance, man. And he wants to run it back. And then he's naked. He's like,
but see, that's the thing with wrestling. That is good. Getting over, getting people happy that, they saw something for a period of time and they enjoyed the experience in the show. That's great. And if you can do that without bumping on your neck and getting hurt, that's even better. He's great at that stuff. He can get everyone's favorite moment could be the 7-minute entrance, right? But then he has this 3-minute match and he doesn't know how to sell a neck breaker.
He's looking for a tag.
So it's like just
3 minutes of looking for a tag.
Yeah,
right. Just like learn to work competently and fulfill.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, Byron?
Yeah.
Who's a better wrestler, Jey Uso or Danhausen?
I mean, I want to say
seriously, it takes that long.
It takes that long because they're both super.
Because he doesn't want it to be Jey Uso, but it is.
No. 5 years ago, for 5 or whatever, before the WrestleMania match against his brother, especially on their tag run, Jey Uso was, without irony, one of the better wrestlers, one of the better performers in WWE. Now,
so true. I really just want Jay to get Cody high and then for them to do press conferences.
Yeah, that was
can happen
really great.
a million more times, and I have no problem with that.
And that's how you get Cody back over with the fans.
So I was watching Danhausen on Stephen A. Smith's show or whatever, and I realized at that moment that Danhausen, and it's not that he's bad, but he is actually the worst wrestler in the WWE.
Oh wow!
I would debate that.
He's the worst. He's the worst rostered wrestler. The only guy worse is what's the big dude's name that's down in AAA now?
Sheamus.
No, Sheamus is not.
No, Sheamus rules.
Omos?
Oba? No,
Yeah,
Omos. Omos is great. No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Omos doesn't.
I rate your opinion.
Do you think that Danhausen is better
than
than Omos as a wrestler?
But he doesn't need to wrestle.
No.
Not as an attraction.
No, but 2 things. One, you're saying wrestler, not worker, okay? And Omos is over. They won't book him.
100%.
But he is over.
100%. So's Danhausen. I'd put the fucking heavyweight belt on Danhausen tomorrow.
I'm going to say that
but
would not do that.
And don't get me wrong.
Don't listen to this guy.
Danhausen is better than a ton of workers that are out there. Just on the main roster of WWE, which is some of the best wrestlers in the world, he's probably the worst one.
Dude, as a wrestler, you do the math, you do the Hulk Hogan math. Promos, being over, and how much can you get for how much you do? And he gets some of the most for how much he does.
Who's better, Danhausen or Tama Tonga?
Oh, Danhausen is a better wrestler. Tama Tonga is a better worker.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I see where you're going. I'm
do the Hulk Hogan math.
I'm actually agreeing with you, Byron. I'm agreeing with you.
Guys, can I make a parenthesis here?
Who do you think is a better worker, Tony? Danhausen or Justin?
First of all, my chops are.
Have you seen how he took that bump that was not even on the actual shot?
Oh God, I got to get Danny to give us that fucking footage of that because I took that
because we don't believe you. Anyways, just as reported by Héroes del Distrito and in CMLL Informa, Tessa mentioned that she was asked by TNA to decide between CMLL and TNA, and she decided to be at CMLL full time because, and as I mentioned, she has a home in Mexico. She said that at CMLL. Yeah. She has a home in Mexico. She has reached the top of the mountain in TNA, and it made no sense for her to stay over there when she actually has, to make an effort to, make a house and make a home in Mexico. So just like I said, I mean, it feels like I almost, said it.
Well, no, I was talking.
I'm just watching it right now.
I was talking about it when you had to take that call too, of like, CMLL has been paying for more of her travel. They're giving her better bookings. They're doing a lot more for her. TNA was stringing her along and putting her in a very secondary role. Wasn't giving her the rub with WWE, which was the whole point in the first freaking place. Like, yeah, she absolutely made the right call. If they're saying pick one, she looked them dead in the eye and said, "Okay, not you." Why?
Yeah.
You can also look at
peace, bitches. Like
TNA will offer you 2 to 3 days a month of work, and you could work 8 days a week at CML.
Right, and it looks you're working for pool money or whatever, but at the same time, if you're happy and you like being down there, your friends are down there, you understand the system or whatever, and TNA does not pay a lot, by the way, guys. You're doing that so that you can stay on an active television roster, and you're still out working a bunch of indie dates and shit. Like, but also, if you're not getting over on the television program and they have no good plans for you, then what's the point?
I'm out.
Yeah. That's the only reason to be at TNA is to stay relevant because you're not in WWE or AEW. And if you've got some other place where you can stay relevant, yeah, gone, out.
I have a TNA question. Where would you rate Maple Pro Wrestling to TNA?
Leaf Pro?
Maple Leaf Pro. I think they have better shows.
Better product by a long shot. I would put Maple Leaf Pro above NWA and TNA and MLW.
What are the crowd?
Guys, if Riot Lucha will get on TV, it will be a better product than TNA.
Let's watch it.
Yeah. I don't
know. For
Let's
real,
get Riot Lucha. Who are the Riot Lucha people?
Okay,
get them on the show.
Alfredo, I have his phone number. Shout out to him though.
Call him right now.
I want to go back to CMLL for a minute because, and this isn't to diss on CMLL at all. I had some revelations. Me and Tony were talking the other night, but I had some personal revelations about CMLL. CMLL is 100% the best live wrestling product on the planet. CMLL, however, has not turned themselves into a global product. And what I was looking at with CMLL, a global media product. So you've got the WWE, which is kind of like the NFL. It's this TV product almost. And if you look at AEW and WWE, the live shows are not what they used to be. AEW's live shows probably better than WWE's, but WWE, if you go to a live show, there's weird stuff going on. Like you get the beginning half of an entrance and then they go to packages and they're doing stuff in the back. And then you've still got this guy just standing in the ring, like you don't realize when you're not in the crowd how odd some of the stuff is live because it is built for TV now. However, they've gone into this product that is pretty well recognized and accepted, but it's at NFL level. You're getting the stories, though. You're getting the characters. You're getting some of the things that drive it, just like the NFL. NFL has storylines. They have game scripts. You understand the Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes of it all, even if that's not your team. You know what I mean? Right, then you look at things that are just more for the live crowd. Like I think of Texas high school football. If you go to Texas high school football and you get involved in that energy, that those people have down there for high school football, it doesn't matter that it's high school football. You think that you are watching the goddamn Super Bowl. There's so much feeling and vibe in those arenas. Those people go insane, and it's just high school football. But it means so much, and that's why their college teams put 100,000 people in the stadium. They put more people in college football games in Texas than any NFL team. People don't know that worldwide because it doesn't matter. They make their money in that arena. They have some small TV deals. They don't matter. They make millions upon millions of dollars in those arenas. That's CMLL. But then I'm watching the World Cup. That is the truly global product. I want a wrestling company that can finally get on that level. You're giving me the stories. You're giving me the history. You're giving me the traditions. You respect it all. You're creating a product that works inside the stadium where everyone is going ape shit crazy for these games. But you're also telling me the story on TV. You're giving me the backstory. You're giving me the packages. You're getting in a little bit of the advertising and all the things that we need to keep all of our players and performers at a top level and keep them paid. Why can't we get wrestling to that level? I'm not saying it has to be as big as the World Cup, but a company that understands both sides of it, that can give us the storytelling and the TV production, but can also do what CMLL is doing better than anybody else, which is packing arenas and making a show for the people in the stands that works live. Because AEW is not doing that. AEW puts on great wrestling matches, but there's 4,000 people in a 12,000 seat venue. CMLL would never. CMLL would never have to. There would be, if they were in a 12,000 seater on a weekend or a big TV taping, there's going to be 12,000 people in there.
Yeah.
WWE can't even do it right now in half their venues.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what are the sort of like average crowd figures between all of these major promotions that we're talking here? Like, you know, like who obviously WWE are going to pack in a bigger crowd.
Well, I mean, CMLL does venues that go from 5,000 to about 14,000. And usually they're pretty damn full. Yeah. They don't have too many nights that are below 3,000 or 4,000.
Oh, no. It's either sold out or almost sold out.
Yeah.
There isn't this not.
There's no gaps.
You know what? There's gaps because they have these tourists that book the show. And then they don't know that traffic in Mexico City is insane. And you're like, oh, it says 30 minutes. No, man.
No, 4 hours.
It's 4 hours, yeah. If you want to get there at 7, you better start at 3.
3 in the afternoon,
yeah. That's the only reason why you might.
Get your ass over there, and if you're early, go have dinner, go buy some mass or something. But yeah, don't leave at 6 p.m. expecting to be there at 7.
No,
when all the traffic hits.
Okay, so quick story on this might be in one of Thunder's blogs coming up soon. We had to get silence, Byron. How do I say that? We had to get out over Uber. So usually in Mexico City we go in a black Suburban, right? Because that's the safest thing to do. We had to get out of our vehicle. What was supposed to be 5 blocks from the arena. I'm talking about Thunder with full makeup on, and I'm wearing the cowboy.
You are looking like the Ranchero Supremo.
Yeah, bro. So, and I'm speeding through what's the name of that neighborhood? La Lagunilla. If you want to Google it, go ahead.
I get it.
We're speeding through it, and we're just walking by. And then as soon as we go to the arena, it becomes a mass of people trying to get photos. That is how crazy the traffic in Mexico City is. And then when we were walking by, and I don't think I recorded this, unfortunately, there was one of those mini buses they have in Mexico City that was on the side of the street like this. That's when no cars were moving, and they were never going to move.
They were just going to be there for hours.
And then we were like, I think we're going to be late. And we were not late, thank God, but it was really close to call. But that's the only reason why you will see some empty. But those places are always full. However, and I expressed this previously, and I've expressed to everybody, I think, I'm concerned about the cultural impact that CMLL will have in the future, because AAA, even though there are diluted now version of it, although I gotta say, the way that I look at it, they've always been like this. This has been the product. It just has a bigger stage. This is the product AAA is.
Yeah.
This is the product. It's basically
That's
the
it.
same thing. It just has better lighting and, you know, a Titratron that is a Titratron, and you know, and now you
better
can
video
watch it,
packages.
yeah, better video packages, and you can watch it in 4 different platforms, right?
Yes.
But that is because I want CMLL to succeed. I like CMLL.
I do too.
I like going. I enjoy it. I like going outside and then talking to people after the matches, and you know, everybody's excited and they're like, "Oh my God, I never seen this happen before. This is my first time." And then like people from like Japan and Korea and then the United Kingdom are in the same arena. And you know, people that have been going to the same arena. There's people that go there that have been going to the same seat since the 70s, bro. This is like it's like a part of their, like, oh, it's a family Sunday, gotta go to the arena.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
crazy. But I'm concerned about the cultural impact, because everything is a cultural war. Everything is a media war. And I don't know where.
And this was the thing
CMLL
I
is
said
standing on that.
when this deal first happened, was that the winners write the history, and that part of the danger for CMLL is they're gonna let Mark Calloway write their fucking history of Lucha Libre now.
Yep.
Like, there's a way to avoid that though. But I was thinking about it. So there's things that CMLL doesn't do that other companies do. Like, when talent shows up for call time, what do? They get dressed, they get ready, they have a match.
Yep.
Are they doing pre-tapes? Are they typically, if there's any storyline, it happens out in the crowd or the announcers are talking about it. Performers at CMLL are not really cutting promos very often. And if they do, it's a quick in-ring thing. Or they're on Informa. And they're pushing storylines on Informa sometimes, and sometimes it's totally a shoot. Like with Tessa today, talking about why she left, you know, TNA for CMLL. So I'm just wondering if they don't see the need for some of these things. It's not the problem is not the match. The problem is not the wrestling by any stretch of the imagination. The problem is telling me why it matters. When you're in the crowd, I can tell you why it matters. Because there's a Rudo and a Technico in there, and you need to see your Technico beat the Rudo. And when they don't, you feel bad. And when they do, you feel good. And that's all you need.
That's a little Bill Cosby voice going on right there.
That's all you need. You need to put the pudding into the Lucha Libre. And you don't have the pudding in the Lucha Libre, it is not tasty and delicious.
We're gonna get kicked off. We're gonna get kicked off of YouTube now.
You put the roofies into the pudding.
That is not like not necessarily. Do you feel bad when the Rudo wins? Like, that's something you hold
you don't
on,
have to show
Some
off.
Rudos are cool,
dude.
There is a large crowd that supports Rudos, even though we are not they're the bad guys. That's okay. Okay, so this shirt that I got, I will remember the name of the shop in 1 second.
Oh, we're showing off shirts. I wore a boring shirt today.
Me too.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so I'll remember the name of the. I remember the name of the store.
I want one.
Yeah, well, you can get it in Mexico City when we go.
That's my question to you, by the way.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to that point. It is so popular, the Rudos and Técnicos thing, that they ask you, so you get either a green shirt, a green bag, or a red bag for your collectibles. Like, are you a Rudo or you're a Técnico? Oh no, I'm a Rudo. Okay, they give you a red bag. So that is how divided is, and you know, it's like rooting for a team. You're Rudo, you are Rudo all the way, right? So,
which I mean, I originally was like Penta was the guy, and Penta was a Rudo.
Yeah,
Penta was the foil to Octagon.
Yes,
that's it.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the whole
reason.
purpose. Octagon is the Technico. I am Pentagon, the evil arch nemesis of the Technico. I am thusly a Rudo. That's it.
I'd break your arm.
It wasn't until Skip Chase and Krista Joseph got a hold of him that he was breaking people's arms and a ninja.
He was supposed to be a Rudo though, and Casey and I were like the only ones in a submission match.
You
Penta
red bag
versus
motherfuckers
Star,
is what happened.
Sexy Star versus Penta in a submission match, and we were the only ones rooting for Penta in the whole match.
Yes.
He was a Rudo. He was a bad guy for a while.
You and Casey were always carrying the red bag. For sure.
I don't know what that means. Is that a terrorist thing?
You just explained it.
Jesus, you pay no attention to what I said.
And you ordered one of the shirts.
Racism.
Okay, so the name of the name of the place that sells this shirt is called Lucha. I said I was gonna put them over, so it's called Lucha Masters.
All right, Lucha Masters.
Lucha Masters. They are actually developing a video game, like an 8-bit video game.
Developing a video game.
And this is like
Mighty Lucha. Oh, that's cool as hell.
Hold on, stay there. I got to do one of these so I can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And then,
that's cool.
And then to support the development of the video game, they have these guys.
That's sick. That's sick.
Okay. That's
so
dope.
I'm gonna commit a sin here, but guess what?
No, you can't take his mask off.
No.
Boo.
DQ this man.
What? And he's a redhead.
And he's bald. He has Hulk Hogan hair.
You don't know what axolotls are?
It's an axolotl.
I don't think you can say that word.
Whatever comatose just pronounced. That's the English version of it. Well, that's the mascot of the city, of Mexico City. There are these little animals that live in Xochimilco that live forever. Yeah. So there you go.
Dope.
Put him over. Put him over. Yeah.
I want to put that mask on my Dr. Sami.
Oh my God, that would be funny. I think Dr. Simi sells a line of luchadors.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be foolish not to.
But anyway, I said I was gonna put them over because I really like their stuff. This is pretty cool.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is very fun. Yeah. So, anyways, I forgot what I was going with that, but yes. Okay, CMLL needs to improve their social media presence and their media coverage.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they have to do everything the same way as everyone else, because the more I think about it, again, they're doing something right that the major companies here in the U.S. can't do right. CMLL's live show is doing better than anybody's live show here. So you have to give them a certain amount of credit. They are the world leader in live lucha libre, period. Now, WWE running AAA has certainly made improvements as of late in that realm.
They made it more of a WWE in Mexico show.
Yeah, and people are going to it, and people are liking it, and they're selling a lot of tickets. And if they do, but they got to do that for 2 years straight if they want to impress me. Now, again, I talked about it briefly last week when AAA started. Within the first 2 years, they overtook CMLL. Back in the day, they got into a bunch of different arenas. They got the crowds going. People thought CMLL was dead for a while. Okay, they stole a bunch of the talent over the course of the first 5-6 years, and AAA became a real thing and a real threat to CMLL. CMLL held on, came back, and then they did battle back and forth. But, 2 years ago, AAA was having trouble putting 2,000-3,000 people in a venue. CMLL has not had that problem. So they're the worldwide leader in something. I think they can do more. It's just a question of how do you keep what they already have, which I think is rightfully a big focus of theirs. Like, they do that well because that is their main focus. What happens inside the arena walls is what CMLL is focused on. But I want to see more one-on-one matchups. I want to see more things that make me care about the match, that bring me to the show other than the fact that I know the show is going to be good. Like, why do I want to watch them on a Friday night? And where do I watch them? Let's start looking at those global deals, CMLL. There's not a lot of steps that you have to take it up a notch. The involvement with AEW has been very good for CMLL in a lot of ways, but I think they can do more than just rely on Tony Khan's goodwill. As we've seen with New Japan, that's not smart. But New Japan is making moves. New Japan did a deal with MLW to replace AEW. Like, as soon as they lost AEW off their New Japan World Service, they put MLW on there. So guess what that means?
With MLW.
Can we get a crossover with Kevin Cross?
Oh.
Finally. He's been talking about doing a serious run with some Japanese stuff forever, but now he can do it the same way that Ring of Honor did it back in the day when the Young Bucks went over there and started crossing over and stuff. Like, Cross could be that guy. And boy, could they use a guy like Kevin Cross around here. I mean, but that's what I want to see from CMLL. It's like, you do a deal with Claudio. Great. Claudio's got a belt. Claudio's not really a great mouthpiece guy, so it made sense for them. He's a great wrestler. He goes down there and wrestles or whatever. But why don't we do that with an AEW talent that is a mouthpiece? Why don't we let it branch out a little bit more? Why don't we talk to Tony Khan and see if there's some other stuff we can do? See what his media partners and deals are like. See if you can't, slide your way into something. Keep the shows the same, but then start expanding outward.
This is my thing here. They have the Friday. The Friday show is their main show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
It's always sold out. There's tons of people. The energy, the crowd's amazing. Why not just that one that is on Fox, on Fox Sports Mexico? Why not that one? Just give it a little bit of more love and do some vignettes in the back. Explain to the people a little bit why these two guys are hating each other. If they don't hate each other, give us a reason. Hey, you know what? It takes a couple of seconds to write something and tell them, yeah, go and flow with it. And so I know sometimes there's a large lost art of the promo where you just go and, hey, I hate you because you said something about me 10 years ago and now I want to get back on that. Just do that. It doesn't have to be Shakespeare. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be anything more than what it is. But, there is this, and this is what confuses me. When you see, you want to see a street fight in a higher level, right? When you see lucha libre, you want to see those guys that are talking shit in the microbus or in the the bus stop. They're talking shit to each other, or there's a confrontation on the street because you almost bump into somebody, or somebody was looking at your girl and you want to talk shit to them.
That's
what you're looking
literally why I started liking Pentagon, because he cut a promo in the street on Aussie Suicide that was ridiculous, and it felt like these dudes who were in this low mid-card battle were actually going to fucking fight. It was great.
Well, there you go. That's all I'm asking for.
And it was short and easy. And they went outside with a camcorder and did some janky shit in an alley.
Yeah, you don't need the high-level production. You already have what is going to be a great match. Just give me 30, 45 seconds of them talking to each other and explaining to the world, global scale, why this is going to be a match you should watch. Because the match is going to be great, because Lucha Libre at CMLL, it's amazing.
Yes.
But before we get to that point and you can keep people's eyeballs on the product, you have to give us a reason.
And that's it. That's all they got to understand.
That's all. Roll credits. Get the fuck
out. And the reason is not because you put on a good live show. You already have that reason, and you already have the people in the arena for that reason.
And don't change that. I'm not saying you have to change.
You don't have to change that. You just have to give the other 10 million people around the world that should be watching a reason to watch.
You have your really good tacos, and you're like, and they're pastor, and they're really good.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, you put a really good salsa that is spicy, it's hot, and it's gonna go away, and then you put the lemon. Oh my God, that is so good. That's what that needs.
This is my thing with the World Cup. I can tune on any single match for the World Cup a half an hour before the match starts, or I can even watch a preview of it the day before, and they're going to tell me why this match matters, and it's going to sound like it is the end all be all, even if it's two teams that only are ever going to get 1 point in the first round.
Or not.
They're going to tell me the importance of this match.
I want to also make a point about that. Those Lucha Master thing, the merch, the dolls and the shirts, you can only buy in the brick and mortar store outside Arena Mexico.
Okay, again, it's a tent.
I can't buy it online right now.
No.
Why'd you show it to me?
No, gringo.
Tony,
Hold, stop.
Tony, let me Venmo you $5 for your shirt.
I'll Venmo you like $5 for some tacos. I'm gonna got the munchies like a motherfucker right now.
With the ones with the salsa on them, like you just said. That was good.
Okay, I know. Actually, I think you can get it. It says, "Contrata la mejor lucha." Oh wow, these are other people. Hold on.
Okay. Dude, I'll just call Hoovy. Hoovy can get you one.
Ooh, the juice.
Because the juice is real good about sending people their t-shirts.
When we come to Mexico, should we be prepared to buy a lot of stuff like this that you can only get around?
Yes, you should have a separate suitcase just for merch and crazy shit that I'm gonna take you to that you like. Oh my God, I can't believe this is $5. It looks the same as the American merch. Yeah, stuff like that. It's called pirata.
You know what I want? I want one thing and one thing only.
Oh my God, not this again.
I want an Hechicero mask.
You want me to call Hechicero?
I want the fire gimmick.
No, dude, that is a one of a kind. Like,
it's just like hand sanitizer.
They made him stop doing it. No, bro, he did it twice at AEW, and they made him stop doing it because it was like everything about it was dangerous and wrong. They were like, no, OSHA says you can't do that at Hechicero. I'm sorry, bro. Like,
hey,
you're breaking like 4 laws with whatever this magical thing is that you're doing.
He should have kayfabed it and said it was a laser like image.
Well, I mean, like it's like the Aerostar thing that he got from what's his face, where you use the aerosol can and do the flamethrower thing. Like, bro, that's illegal on so many levels in an arena with insurance.
It's frowned
but in Mexico, we'll play a little loose with it. We got good insurance.
Actually, yes. I don't think you can get this shirt anywhere.
Thanks for showing it to us. That's cool.
Byron gets butthurt about his merch, man. That's like you showing a freaking,
Yeah, I'm looking at their website.
Yeah,
they don't have a store.
Can I still get some tacos? I could
still. No, they're like, hey,
the website just shows you what you can come to the tent and buy.
Yeah, it's on the corner next to the Oxxo. So you go into Arena Mexico and get it.
Yeah. All right. I'll be right there.
It's only a 4-hour flight, Byron.
No, I'm excited for that. Yeah, I got direct flights.
So for those who don't know, we're talking about it a lot. Byron and I have decided to go to Grand Slam for a week.
Yeah.
And hang out with Tony and Pato in Mexico City and probably document it in some type of filmmaking process so that you can see what it's like for gringos in Mexico. And I think that Byron is going to be a laugh a minute. It's going to be like the Naked Gun having Byron in Mexico City.
You don't think I fit in?
I wonder.
Better than me.
Wake up in a bathtub of ice, mate, missing your kidneys.
What do you mean? There's a lot of Afro-descent Mexicans.
I know, but when I'm there, they're just going to think I'm Mexican, and I'm just going to say "sí" a lot, and then they're going to look at Byron, and I'm going to be like,
"sí."
They're gonna Justin.
They're gonna be expecting me to translate for Byron, and I'm just gonna act stoned and be like, "See,
They're
Justin, they're gonna think Justin's Puerto Rican, and I'm only going to buy things through Tony. I'm not gonna actually buy it myself.
I'm always going to be like, oh, he's my grandpa. Byron is my grandpa. from the American side. Yeah.
I just know when I'm there, there's going to be a Tony price for stuff, and there'll be a Byron price for stuff.
Oh, but that's because people like me.
I don't know. The like Byron me. Price is pretty close to the Tony price.
No. I get cred. I have cred. So
you got street cred.
I can walk around in La Lagunilla by myself without getting
That's impressive.
Yeah, we get that. We get that reference.
I walked through Watts once. That's when I knew I was black.
Use Google La Lagunilla, and you'll know what I mean.
I don't know how to spell it.
I thought you live in California.
No?
You guys do know that Byron knows like 5 times as much Spanish as I do, right?
Okay.
That's what he says.
See.
Don't do anything that Rebecca wouldn't do. So pretty much we can do anything we want in Mexico.
I was like, is that going to be that crazy then?
It's not Tijuana. We're going to Mexico City.
Tijuana.
Tijuana. I used to go
the last time I went to Tijuana, it was a very wholesome experience compared to the first time I went to Tijuana.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Did you see the show?
That the first time? I went. I had the after hours experience in Tijuana.
Okay.
The after hours experience, huh?
Yes. Thankfully, I was with some roadies and bouncers, and some guys that can handle themselves and kept me from getting mugged and robbed and raped.
Whoa.
And
I thought you said you had a good time.
Oh, I had a great time. For the first 20 minutes of it that I can remember.
Yeah.
And then they gave me this thing called, they said it was tequila.
Oh, yeah. Also, we're going to do, everybody on the show, let's make a bet how long it takes for Byron to get explosive diarrhea when he's in Mexico City.
I'm not going to drink the water.
You'll be in the plane.
Water, bro.
I had the opposite problem when I was there the last time, so
yeah.
You won't get off the plane. You have explosive diarrhea on the plane before you even touch the ground in Mexico, for sure.
That would be so funny.
I'll bring my Pepto. It'll be my chaser for everything. You think I don't eat garbage every day already? Like I have an iron stomach.
But the bugs that I used to get, not anymore. One thing for real. Don't try to drink any coffee, anything like that in the first 2 days, because even if your blood pressure is an athlete, like some of my friends, your blood pressure will go fucking sky high in the first couple of days. The altitude in Mexico City is not a fucking joke. Everybody says, "Oh yeah, it is very difficult for."
I drink coffee every day.
You're going to die if you have that shit.
I know.
We went to breakfast every day. I was there with you, Tony, and I had coffee. I had like 5 cups every day. What now? You're telling me this?
Yeah.
Coffee's got cocaine.
They recommend athletes, which none of you are.
I'm an athlete.
I'm an athlete.
I was in much better shape at the time than I am now. That's for sure. I'm sitting here eating M&Ms as we speak.
Sure, Byron.
I'm an athlete.
Staying as a goalie and drinking water is gonna be making. Anyways,
yo, what is wrong with your mom? And what was she doing going to TJ every weekend?
Rebecca.
El Cajon?
She lived in El Cajon.
Did your mom come back with a lot of ones?
Did you say that again?
El Cajon?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? El Cajun? Is it El Cajun?
No. El Cajani.
It sounds like you're saying El Cojon.
El Cajon.
El Cajones?
El Cajon. How do you say it?
El Cajon.
That's what I said.
No.
Oh my god, we're gonna do this.
You didn't put the "ch" in it. Make it sound more Hebrew, Byron, and it'll be right.
Ah,
No, I can't do any ethnic things with my throat. My cat rolls her R's better than I do.
Whoa.
What?
Slow
maybe
down.
your cat is Mexican.
I'm doomed because you realize Byron's my translator whenever you're not around, Tony, right?
Don't
That
worry,
can't be.
Pato will be there for you guys.
Oh,
Assistance.
God. The assistant Pato.
You gotta
Well,
go find.
Byron,
where's
you're going
he
to have
right
to
now?
pay Pato really well for this trip.
You know, Pato's a calm guy, but he's like pretty tall. I think he's taller than Byron.
Yeah, he's
a big guy.
Okay.
we're gonna make him our Vampiro. Me and
built
Milli
like,
Vanilli, and he's Vampiro.
He'll be our
He's
heater.
like, he's built like, I don't know, like Hechicero. You know, kind of like the same size.
Where is he right now?
Pato?
I think he's stuck in traffic
again.
No, like seriously, it's a nightmare over here. I know we're getting off topic, but they fucked it up. They really fucked it up. They ruined it for everybody. I'm very upset.
Yeah, I did that once.
You guys gotta go find an El Dorado taco. That's what I want you guys to try. Tony, can you find an El Dorado taco?
I can dry ice tacos, send it to you.
Okay, so Tony, we talked about CMLL a lot, but you just came from another CMLL circuit. Talk to me about it. How'd it go? What was this last run like? Anything interesting? You see any great new talent? What's the deals? Give me the lowdown.
I saw some great new talent. Well, I don't know if they will call it new, but they're barely starring. I saw some international people, some superstars that are soon to be retired, I think. So this week and the week before, Tiger Mask was in CMLL. Just great to see. Like I had some great seats this time, so I got to see a lot like first row kind of a seating. So it was great. I got to meet Rina, although I didn't get to see her wrestle until a day after on TV in Puebla. And there's this, and then also I met Tabata, which I've only seen her Instagram because you keep popping because now I'm friends with a lot of these people. So, but there's this little interaction between Tabata and Rina during the match.
Yeah.
That's
my pop of the week, by the way.
And oh my God, they have to do a 1v1 soon because that's where the money is at. One is 21 and the other one is 19, for fuck's sakes.
Rina is 19 and she's already like going around the world and over everywhere. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And she's so good. I asked her to send me her favorite match.
That she's done?
Her favorite match, yeah. Like
have you they just did they're about to do the 5-star, which is their G1. They just did a tournament, the Grand Princess tournament, and her sister won. But they fought in the finals, and that was phenomenal.
Hold on, where is
Rina? It was Rina. It's
and so how old is Rina now?
Rina is 19. Her older
19 or 18?
I can't keep. She's 19. I can't keep track of who's older. Who's
and
younger.
how old is Tabitha? She's like 22.
She's 21. I think she's 21.
It's crazy how young they are, and they're doing awesome stuff. But like Rina's standing out, doing her thing, like all over CML, MLW. She was here for WrestleMania week. Her one of her sisters won the grand.
Well, she has a twin and a sister, so there's
and so the one of them, I think her twin is the one that she fought. Is it Hana?
Hana is her sister.
Hana. And then she has a younger sister who is doing the thing with Maki Ito, and she
that's the younger sister.
The younger sister.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names, but the younger sister was getting over because she would drink a beer during the press conference, and also she would stomp on toes. She would just stomp the shit out of people's toes, and it got way over.
So she had a match against Starlight Kid. at February 24th at the Utsunomiya Togochi.
Utsunomiya.
Oh, that's the one she said.
Togochi. That's what she said. Was I can send it to you. I will send it to you.
Thanks.
That's her favorite match. Unfortunately, super edited. I think they edit like at least 7 minutes out of the match. So I hate that. So because it's on YouTube, so I guess they had to cut some stuff. But yeah, I'm super impressed. I'm really impressed with Tabata. And also Thunder's match on Sunday was really good.
Which match was she doing the top rope drop kick in?
Was it a one?
I don't know. I saw the highlight and I was like, "Who is this? What the hell?"
She has to push herself a lot more when she's over there. There's the level of the women's wrestling in CMLL, and I think I've said it already a lot of times on this show and in the Spanish show too. Like I said it at Quiero Lucha, and I've said it here. There is the level at CMLL, it's insane, and they do this every day now because now they added another show on Wednesdays.
Oh my god! Getting ready for AEW to come down.
Yeah, but no, they did it because the demand for more lucha libre is getting crazy because they have the World Cup at home. So there's a lot
this year.
Yeah,
they can pack.
So, yeah, I mean, Mexico City is a complete. It's just so full of people. It is very hard to get around. I'm not gonna lie. You have to plan things ahead always, but you will get so much wrestling out of this. Like it's crazy. Well, you know what? Coming back to this, domination between companies, the AAA's presence in North Mexico, it's almost absolute. They're because CML does not have arenas as they used to. They don't have Arena Monterrey Coliseo anymore. So AAA is doing a show in Show Center every day for the duration of the World Cup.
Wow.
Every day, bro. And they're like full cards, not like 2 or 3 matches. No.
But see, and then they can also do this too because of the fact that they're not as storyline driven. They can just say, "Hey, you're wrestling, go." And it helps, and people work each other all the time, and then they get these phenomenal matches because everything is like a house show and a whatever,
And I have to tell you this: Show Center in San Pedro Garza here in Monterrey is not a cheap place to book. This is where they bring Lion King and they bring Hamilton and they bring Mean Girls, the musical. This is where they do all
top
of
theater
that.
venue.
It's a top theater venue, and they are betting that it will be booked every single day during the World Cup.
It's amazing.
So it's such a crazy. Like I remember when I I don't want to get all like nostalgic or whatever. But I remember when I used to. It was so difficult for me to access Lucha Libre when I was a kid live. It was so difficult because it like they will come to my hometown in Parral, Chihuahua. They will come like once every 2 years. Maybe I will get lucky and they will come once a year. I will have to go to Chihuahua or I will go to Juarez. And, your parents will like, oh, Juarez is so dangerous. We don't really want to go to the places where they have Lucha Libre, The best bet was to go to El Paso, and for some reason there was some WWE show there, or some independent company or something like that, or we'll be in Kansas City. But as a kid, now it's everywhere, and it's so good. Like there's the show, like local indie shows here in Monterrey are getting Meltzer 5.25 stars. What the fuck? What the fuck is like what? I mean,
it's just happening. Like I'm looking at what's going on with Mask Republic doing those Mask Mania shows. They just keep adding more because they're a huge success. You know how hard it is to be a touring wrestling promotion? I mean, people don't do it. It's not easy to put on these shows, and here they are. They're bringing talent from Mexico, and they're bringing like people who you don't know, and they're putting on these shows that are packing, and crowds are going crazy for it. So now they're doing Reading, PA. They just announced more shows, but that's part of it. They're also being smart. They're hitting places that have a void for wrestling in general. They went to Bangor, Maine. They're going to Reading, PA. They're going to these places that don't have shows come, and they're putting on a high quality show, and they're bringing aging luchadors and they're bringing young up and coming luchadors, but no one in the middle. But it's still putting on a great show, and it's really smart. It's a cool way to do it, and if they can keep doing that, then they can build, and some of those younger guys will become those middle level guys, or you bring in some of these guys like the guys that Gringo Loco worked with, like a Noisy Boy or whatever. Some of these dudes, it's amazing, and I'm glad that Ruben and Kleinrock are doing that. I'm glad that Lucha Gringo's out there finding these talents and stuff too. I feel like Lucha Libre is, again, just like it was when 10 years ago during the Lucha Underground time, it's poised for another great renaissance period where people can really get into Lucha Libre, and they are the super indies right now. Like, there's talents in the big companies and there's talents on the independents that are fucking killing. And right now, the American independent scene isn't that strong because it's been gutted. And also, you're getting this thing now where wrestlers don't know if they should go to the indies and try to make a name for themselves because WWE has changed their recruiting system.
Yeah, but another thing with American indies is we've had a few big ones. There's like different tiers, and there's some really big ones that will give you a show like PWG would give you that would be worth your money and would be worth, your time. And they don't have TV deals or anything, and they have been folding. I think the West Coast lost 2 of their top 3 non-televised indies in the past year, which is devastating because, there's the locals that will work and support that, but then there's also just the bigger name indie wrestlers who will tour with them.
Well, a lot of indies didn't survive the pandemic or whatnot, know. And the indie landscape has changed a lot because you have to put more into it. People expect you to be at a JCW or GCW level or MLW to even compete these days, and it's hard. Circle 6 puts on a pretty decent show, but it's difficult for them too. To compete at that level. MLW did just do that deal with New Japan, which is great because it brings them a little bit of steady money. It's not like pay for everything money, but they've got a pretty expensive roster at MLW right now. The Matt Riddles of the world and the Good Brothers and Cross and, Baron Corbin, like these guys cost money. They're named. Yeah. They're not cheap. Like in MLW's got mouths to feed over there, man.
And they brought over guys like Kojima.
Yeah,
they brought over big New Japan names who are a little bit older and wouldn't get the same push in Japan at the time, but they'll come over and be the world champ at MLW.
Yeah,
they're still established, and they just brought over, like we're talking about Rina. They brought over Rina, who's huge up and comer, but they brought over arguably the biggest star in Japanese pro wrestling.
And let's not forget, MLW pays Mystico quite a bit of money, also.
Yeah,
he's not cheap, and thankfully they make it up in T-shirt sales because I do believe MLW has sold more legitimate Mystico shirts than CMLL has in the last year.
And there's a difference, but here's the thing with MLW: they don't have a TV deal, and I think they've been hunting for one, and they have so much programming that is on the shelf for like 3 months.
It's decent programming too. I watched that premiere episode that they did on YouTube, and it was good.
No, they put it on YouTube because they don't have a TV deal. Like, how much money are they getting? They need to elevate their broadcast to keep up with the product that they're actually making.
It's hard at that level though, because you see what's happening with TNA. It's like they've got the network, they've got good numbers, but the show is not really paying for itself right now. So it's tough.
Well, going back to TNA, if you are a network and you see what's happening with TNA, do you really want to bet on wrestling like that? Like that's
Yes, because if you look at the numbers on AMC, they're better for the price that they pay for the show than anything else. And this is the thing about wrestling that people don't see. And I can't believe it took TNA as long as it did to even get a better deal. Access was paying them nothing. And they signed, then he kept re-upping. And it was the dumbest thing. And it was like, you're selling more ads for them. You're the number one show on their fucking entire network. Why are you giving this product away? And AMC is paying like you can, if you can consistently get a couple 100,000 people on cable television these days, that sells ads. And it's the thing that people keep not understanding about AEW. Like AEW is fine right now because they make more for their ads than the TNT and TBS ever expected to get from AEW. They thought AEW was going to be getting 200, 300,000 viewers. They thought it was going to be a TNA level product. Tony Khan gave them something far more superior to that. They were getting 900 for a long time, and now there's consistently 500 to 700. The ad rates are higher than they ever anticipated. They make more money off of AEW than they ever expected to. TNA makes money for AMC. However, TNA did their TV deal too cheap. They should be getting paid more. So when they re-up their deal, I expect them to be worth more money. And I don't know how people have all this time to watch all this fucking wrestling. I don't know who the 200,000 people who are watching TNA are, but they're watching it. It's 100 to 200,000
That is a great
people.
industry question. Like who, like, how do you, like, let's measure these numbers and where does this cross over? Like, where is the, you know, like the crossing thing?
They're out there. And I know a lot of people that prefer
one of them.
TNA and NXT as their brands.
And now even less because they fired Tommy.
Yeah. I mean,
I like Tommy.
Though I love Tommy. I mean, look, I'm an ECW guy. I'm a Tommy Dreamer Mark.
Where does Tommy go?
Home.
Yeah.
He does House of whatever, and his stuff, and he does Busted Open, and
is it,
maybe he goes to the E as a producer.
I was gonna say, how long until we see him in AEW?
Nah, I can't see Tommy in AEW.
No,
Remember when we saw him work Lucha Underground?
Oh yeah,
that was
that's great. Taking bumps on the wooden steps, dumbass.
What an idiot! It was great.
Certainly, AEW has a wallet that they can open, but I don't know if he. Well, I don't know.
I don't think AEW is the thing for him because I don't think Tommy wants to travel like that. He has trouble flying. TK is going to want him to fly all over the place on short notice, and I just don't think Tommy can do that. He prefers to drive. He wouldn't be a guy that I think could consistently do the road for AEW or probably even WWE at this point. Like if they brought him in to NXT or someplace where he didn't have to travel all the time, if they really wanted him to work with the younger talent, I could see him being another Matt Bloom, you know, guy, or how Al Snow is up at OVW. I can't see Tommy. I mean, he just has a lot of trouble with the flying. When he has to make those dates and stuff, and he'll still do it, but I don't see him doing it on a weekly basis. He does his rounds once a month right now, and that's about all I see him doing. Because the flying just causes too much inflammation and swelling and all of his things that hurt.
It's the worst part of the job when you're not old and broken down.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to get to the pops and drops because it's going to open up another interesting topic. I want to talk about the AEW show tonight because that's where my drop is coming from. I want to preface it, however, with the fact that I thought AEW show tonight was pretty damn good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought they did some pretty decent storytelling. I thought where things are going makes sense. MJF versus every contender in the world. I love how MJF is standing there with a bunch of dudes that are the dudes he's basically getting in bed with to have his back for this big match. And he's got threats right there in the group that are helping him. That's a great storyline. I mean, and it's a bold move that you don't see stuff like that in wrestling. And I give Tony Khan a little bit of shit about this weird nuanced tweener, everybody's a tweener kind of thing. It is a little more realistic, but at the same time, I think a lot of times it doesn't work. However, I feel like right now it's working a little bit better. That you have these guys that are kind of, in these weird places. This Moxley Death Riders thing, this MJF teaming up with the Callis family, but they're all mean, so they're mean to each other. Even it's breaking down during the match and stuff. I think it's I don't know, and that's the fun of it, Rebecca. We don't know who MJF screws, or if they screw him, or if everybody just attacks him.
Let's just back up a little bit here. Oh man, I just don't want to get my hopes up because I will be so mad when this doesn't happen. But could it be a possibility that we're setting up MJF and Andrade for Grand Slam?
Yes,
makes sense.
It could be.
Do you think the earthquake that will happen if Andrade wins the championship in Mexico City will be as big as the 2017 earthquake?
Let me ask you a question so that you can answer your own question. Is Grand Slam before or after All In?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yes, it is. You've now answered your own question.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Look, the simple fact of the matter is we got to find a way to sell another 40,000 tickets for Wembley.
I think they can. They haven't even
the match that does that is MJF versus Will Ospreay. There is no other match that does it. I think Andrade would be a great champion. I would love to see him and MJF go after each other.
Well, also,
I'd love to see Jet and MJF. I'd love to see a lot of these things. However, when you're talking about selling 40,000 tickets, let's quit fucking around. It's MJF versus Will Ospreay if it's in London. That's it. There's no other match. There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah, but it's a rerun from the first all in London. So
yeah.
But
I mean,
we want to see Andrade.
If you want to turn Andrade full face, you have him, get
I
screwed.
think you play with a little bit, and you can still have him even be in the storyline. You can have several people be in the storyline, and we saw that worked with the Moxley Hangman thing. To have other people adjacent to the main storyline and other threats for Moxley and other threats for Hangman even. Like, it can totally work to have other people adjacent to the whole thing. And I like that level of storytelling because it makes these guys feel important. It's part of what I'm liking about AEW right now. However, speaking of getting Will Ospreay to All In and having it make sense, my drop of the week is... Will Ospreay and Swerve recapping the bullshit nonsense storyline that has got them to this place where Will is now the babyface against Swerve.
I don't think he is.
Ever do this again, Tony Khan. You have exposed your own bad storytelling. To hear Will Ospreay in the ring recounting all of the ridiculous things about his storyline with Swerve was frightening. It was like, oh my God, you're telling me everything bad about AEW in one paragraph. Why are you doing this right now? You're telling me that nothing you're doing right now makes sense. And thank God at the end, Swerve kind of tied it up and made it make a little bit of sense. He was basically just like, bro, we did all that shit with the Death Riders, and then now you're just training with them? fuck you. That's all that needed to happen. But saying all of the back and forth babyface to heel switching that everyone has done, not a good look. Not a good look. Don't do that. You're basically telling us every time that we invest in a heel or a babyface, it doesn't mean anything. You're insulting me, Tony Khan, by writing that segment into your show. You're telling me that I'm an idiot for following those storylines, for caring about those people as a babyface or a heel. You cannot point out how many times Swerve has switched from heel to babyface. That is stupid. Sorry, Byron, what were you saying?
Oh, I thought that was a great segment in that it told a larger story of it's trying to point out that Swerve used to be a good guy and now he's a darker Swerve with the chain and a heel and blah blah blah. But the thing is, Swerve has always been Swerve. It's just a matter of who is he doing the things against, right? And Will Ospreay, it turns out, and I hated the cinematography and the direction switching, camera switching, whatever of this show, the entire show. It looked like it was an arena that they just couldn't wrap their heads around. Again, but they did get one good shot, which they absolutely needed for storytelling, and that's when the Death Rider music hits. And Swerve is going to be like, all right, yeah, your buddies are coming, blah blah blah. But the Death Rider music hits, and they get the close up on Will Ospreay, and you see him smile. That is the moment he became a Death Rider. He wasn't Will Ospreay training with them. He became a Death Rider. He became the villain in his story.
Maybe, and I get what you're saying too, but that's also part of my issue. Is Will Ospreay's not going to be the heel here, but yet he's choking out Danny Garcia backstage.
Not in Wembley, but
that's what we're working to. This is where it's short-sighted.
We have a long way to get there.
But
right?
Byron, this is my issue with Tony Khan. Again, Tony is not thinking about money. And maybe that's a good thing for some, and maybe that's a bad thing. But my issue is Wembley is the show. Wembley is your moment. We know it's the moment. Whether Will wins or loses. If he loses with the whole country supporting him. If he wins, he has the entire country celebrating him. Doesn't matter one way or the other, but you are working to that moment. There is no bigger moment in the recent history of AEW. It will dwarf anything that happened with Hangman and Moxley in Texas. Yeah. It'll dwarf MJF in All In before. It'll dwarf Saraya getting her big win in England. There's nothing bigger.
Right,
so
I know, and we've been looking.
Why would you work towards anything else?
We've been looking forward to Will winning or having that actual title shot for years now at Wembley. But the thing is, for me, I don't like the Death Rider thing. The Death Rider story is, I think that's been very interesting. I think that's a step. I think that gets resolved before the third act for the lead up to Wembley, for the big push to Wembley. I think that will come to a head. And this is a big step in having that come to a head, because he is adversarial and he trains and he's skeptical, and now he is fully bought in to a group that he shouldn't be trusting. So now there's going to be another step of that, and eventually he has to beat Swerve literally at this pay-per-view. He is going to have to beat the people that built him up and grew and helped him become stronger. He's going to have to get through the Death Rider thing and do the Wembley build pure by himself. This is a step in that.
I don't disagree with any of that. But what I'm trying to say is we just spent 5 weeks on television convincing the audience that Swerve is a bad guy now. That when you say whose house, Swerve's house, you're cheering for a guy that you shouldn't be cheering for.
It's always
and it
been
took a
Swerve.
while. Those first few weeks, people were still like, no, we like Swerve, blah, blah, blah. So you do all of that, and then you get to this point where everything that Swerve says makes sense, and nothing that Will Ospreay says makes sense. Where Will is like, I know I shouldn't trust these guys, but I'm dumb, and it works, so I'm doing it. And you have gone back and forth, this, that many, this, and this time, and then Swerve says the thing that makes the most sense, like, nigga, we was up here trying to fight John Moxley together, and then you just went over here and started training with him. Yeah, I hate your ass.
You're going Cosby
this is
on me.
stupid.
Yeah, you can't Huxtable again.
Yeah, but Swerve made a great point. And the thing is, Swerve is a dirty, rotten son of a bitch. And he's always been one, right?
Yeah.
And in that consistency, he's someone who you can trust because you can trust that he's going to do the thing you predict he'll do. You know? But he brought up, we did all this stuff. We did everything. We put Hangman up and we conquered Mox and he became the champ because it was the right thing to do. And it was his time. And what is it worth? He's not the champ. He's not even on the show anymore. What was it all worth?
And he's not even allowed to fight for the title anymore.
Yes. Which I thought was a great point because it
makes Swerve a babyface that after 6 weeks of making him a heel again.
But the thing with him and Ospreay, they are close friends. They're playing that up. So they're playing more like gray area storytelling.
The thing is, it takes somebody with a PhD to explain it to me. I just want to turn on the wrestling and say, you spent 6 weeks of my time telling me that Swerve's a bad guy, and we know that Will Ospreay is going into London to All In to be the biggest babyface in AEW history. Why are you playing games with me right now? This is bad. It's my drop of the week, Byron. It's a drop. Right, well, it's a fail.
Their storytelling and
I'm not even saying it's not interesting. I'm just saying it's a fail. It can be an interesting fail, but it's still a fail.
I think the road to Wembley for Ospreay has been very interesting, and it's not a simple Cody Rhodes story.
I like the Death Riders thing. Just don't let Will come out and try to explain it to me again.
But they have to get through. I'm repeating myself, but they have to get through the Death Rider story, and this is hopefully one of the final bigger stages till we get to the climax of that, and then he can then go after MJF.
But we are in agreement that nothing that Will Ospreay did tonight was a babyface move. He did no babyface. I agree.
That's the thing.
He came out and talked like an asshole about his brand new wife, about how he railed her out. Gross. Yeah, that was a heel move. You don't do that.
I don't know if he did that as a heel or if because he was kind of stupid. But that was
exactly. But again, somebody backstage should probably say, "Hey, Will, you're a babyface. We don't talk about railing out our wives and leaving them high and dry to come back to the wrestling show because that doesn't make you a babyface. That makes you heel Ric Flair, circa 1987."
Also, be on the plane with them going to work too.
Yeah. Woo. Anyway,
but you know, when they straighten that whole thing out, that's going to be great if they have her ringside.
Look, everything from tonight can make just a dandy package. But in the moment of watching it, I was insulted, and it's a drop. It's my drop of the week.
That's the thing. Will Ospreay has turned into the dumb asshole who has finally the blinders up everyone's telling him not to have with these guys. They've sucked him in. And now he thinks they're his friends, you know?
Let it go.
But something's gonna happen.
That's just my drop of the week. All right. Byron, what's your drop of the week, Byron?
My drop of the week, I wrote it down.
Wrote it down.
One drop of the week is 2.5 hours of podcasting. One drop of the week is the situation for everyone who has to work in TNA. I feel horrible for them for all the shit they have to go through. with all the stuff going on. That's not fair to them. And I just saw something randomly on Twitter from one of the developmental people in WWE that bothered me. I don't know if I ranted about this or not, but it's the anime girl who's in Evolve. I think that's dumb as fuck. First of all, she's white. Second of all, she wants to be the anime wrestler. Go to Japan.
Wow.
Japanese wrestling outside New Japan is anime wrestling. Just like
100%.
in America, they're comic book Marvel people, but over there they do it cool. This lady sucks. Anyway,
in America, please, you have the women. No, whatever.
That's a good drop. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Comatose, have you a drop of the week?
Well, I feel for Tommy Dreamer, man. Honestly, I think the whole situation just fucked. Like, and like I said, after hearing him out on Busted Open, you can see how much raw emotion and how much he loves the job and how much it means to him, and just whatever's happened between them all. Like he says, he's not spiteful and he wants the best for him, but you just feel sorry for the guy. You really do, because Tommy Dreamer is wrestling, man.
And that's the messed up thing. It's not because of some allegiance to TNA. It's because of the fact that that guy was doing the best job he possibly could for that company because he loves wrestling.
Yeah.
Period. And he would give his all to any company that allows him to be a part of wrestling on that level. And the reason why he's so sad is because I don't know that there's another company where he can be involved on that level that makes sense for him.
And you can hear that in his voice,
and you can hear it. It's like the end of the road for him for that level of involvement.
He's talking about his car driving 15 hours just to go to work because he loves work. That's what he's got, that connection with people too. Tommy comes from such the hardcore, origins of like ECW and stuff like that, and to see someone like him break down the way it is, you can really just see how much it really does mean to him. He's got a big heart, so sucks.
And he cares about stuff on a different level. Like when I saw him at the ECW arena, he walked up to me and I was wearing an old ECW shirt, and he's just like, "Dude, I made that shirt." And when he's saying he made that shirt, he actually silkscreened. He came up with the design. He actually silkscreened the fucking shirt that I was wearing.
That's crazy.
And that's Tommy Dreamer, because back then he was wrestling. He was carrying Heyman's bags for him to shows. He was helping him book it. He was keeping the talent from killing Paulie when they didn't get paid, while not getting paid himself, and then making the shirts. And then after his matches, going out with his girl and selling the shirts in the lobby to me.
That's crazy.
That's Tommy Dreamer from 30 years ago, and it's still Tommy Dreamer today. Tommy Dreamer would go and make the shirts for TNA if they were like, "Dude, Tommy, we need somebody to go make the shirts and be in the lobby after, booking the show and getting all the talent set up. Can you go run the merch stand?" He would fucking do it. That's Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer is wrestling, man. He is wrestling.
Yeah. Tony, have you got a drop?
Well, no, just before that, something that always bothers me a lot for us, man, is that we always, when we're crying, we have to apologize for crying, because Tommy did it like 4 or 5 times doing the things I stopped doing that. I think it was like 10 years ago or something like that. I stopped saying sorry when I'm crying, because why do we have this feeling that we have to apologize for showing emotion? I fucking hate that shit.
It's a weird thing though, man. It's like I've gone through a lot of mental things this past year, but I can tell you that people don't. It's real though. People do not accept the weakness from men in certain things. It's like if I tell you my whole story of the shit that I've gone through this year, you'd be like, okay, yeah, it makes absolute sense. But at the same time, if I express it emotionally, there really are a lot of people that look at it as weakness. And I can't afford in my life, as I'm trying to get things back together, for people to be looking at me as someone who is showing them weakness. And it's part of why, you guys all know it, but I took a break from this for a couple of weeks at one point. I was losing my shit, mentally not okay. And it is difficult to talk about. I'm not afraid to talk about it at all, but it is difficult to talk about, especially in the moment, because then the people who are counting on me see the moment of weakness and they question whether or not they can count on me as a man and a leader and an influential figure. And it is very, very difficult. So I see what Tommy's going through. He is apologizing for crying because in that moment, he feels like the emotionality is letting down those people that count on him. And I've felt that, and I've been in that place too. And it's one of the reasons why when I'm in that place, I just go away. And people, I don't know if people caught it, but in that interview, Tommy said the most important thing that I think will tell you about men's mental health and where we've gone wrong. Tommy said, I've turned my phone off for a while. That's why I came here. He just had to get it out in one place where he could say his shit, because he knows being the man that he is, he can't take all those individual calls and explain himself. He can't take the people having the pity and the sorrow for him because he feels like he will not be representing them well. It has nothing to do with how he feels about how he's representing himself. He feels like he's going to be letting those kids down, those people over at TNA, by being emotional, by showing weakness, by crying, by being upset, by being sad. He wants to show them strength, and that is difficult. I have to talk with my therapist on a regular basis on how to juxtapose those moments into my life in a healthy way, and I still can't do it. I didn't talk to you guys about the shit I was going through at all. I couldn't. I still don't have the words to express those kind of things, to say like, hey, my career's in the shitter right now. I don't know how to express that because I've got people counting on me, and whether it's in the shitter or not, whether it's my fault or not, I have to find a solution as a man. I have people counting on me. I got to take care of my mother, my cousin, my 2 kids. It's 4 people in this house I got to take care of first and foremost. Tommy Dreamer needs to take care of wrestling. He needs to take care of those kids. He can't juxtapose those feelings in his mind in a fashion where they can exist side by side and be okay with it. Not today. Maybe in a few weeks, Tommy will have some perspective, but I feel where he's at, man. I've been there this year on multiple occasions, and we've talked about mental health, and it is hard for guys.
No, it is
hard to deal with.
I mean, you still have someone like Dana White who is well known, who's the figurehead of UFC, which is like peak male beingness and masculinity and stuff. And he isn't even like mincing words. He comes out and says, there's no mental illness for men. You have to be a provider. You can't show weakness, blah, blah, blah. So that shit isn't real and it doesn't count. And he comes out and says that's only making things worse and harder.
Right. But think about the world that he's in. If he shows that weakness, fighters take advantage of him, business partners take advantage of him, the media takes advantage
but I mean,
of
it's
him.
not the same thing. I'm
not saying it's a good perspective or it's right or healthy.
That's a different situation. I mean, I'm still a tough motherfucker, and I when I cry, it's because I have to, and I'm not gonna apologize for that shit. And if you think that I'm being weak, I'll beat the shit out of you if I have to.
Yes.
Okay, I like that take.
Yeah.
See,
and that's why, like, I think what Dana White says is wrong, because I don't think he needs to say that. I don't think people will step on him because he gets sad about something or he says he's sad about something. I think in his mind, that's how it works.
So but different strokes for different folks.
I can say, but here's the thing. I knew Dana when he was the other Dana, and I've known Dana as he became this Dana. And the original Dana that came in to the UFC, that went to the Fertittas and was like, hey guys, I got this idea, man. I know it's crazy, but if you back it, I swear to God, we can do something. He was a nerd. He was the Ariel Helwani. He was this weirdo guy that talked too much and was a spaz. And he knew a lot about boxing, and he knew all the people, and he really had good ideas and really cared about finding a situation that worked for fighters. That is not this guy. Because at every turn, that guy was taken advantage of. And if it hadn't been for Lorenzo Fertitta protecting him and teaching him how to be a tough guy, he was not the Dana White that he is today. He's not the almost billionaire that he is today. So it doesn't make it right. It's only to say that the evolution of Dana White is because of environment, not because of instinct. His instinct would be a beta male. He learned, however, that for him to succeed, he had to be an alpha. And a lot of that was taught to him by one of my mentors, Charles Mask Lewis, who was a Marine, a cop, but he was also an emotional guy. He was a sensitive dude, and he was weird. He painted his face and did strange shit all the time. Like, he took wrestling gimmicks and put them into not wrestling. He wasn't a wrestler, but he created a kayfabe world for himself, and he taught some of that to Dana. Like, I can't even tell you some of this crazy shit Charles did, like going into a boardroom and getting naked on a table and just putting so much alpha male bravado into a room that it overwhelmed people. Wasn't real. And here's the problem. Wasn't real. 100% worked. He took selling t-shirts out of the back of his car and turned it into a $600 million a year business. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell guys like Dana, like Charles Lewis, like Ari Emanuel, like Triple H, these guys that are these alpha males, or that have found that being an alpha male works, that the other side is okay. Because they've seen the success, they've seen the money, they've seen the respect they get from other men, they've seen the women that they can get. They get everything. Asshole gets the girl. It's this old rule we used to have in high school. You walk around and you're the nice guy and you're looking at all the hottest chicks and they're with the asshole. Why does the asshole get the girl? I don't know.
Well, there's
Dana White's the asshole. He's got the girl. That UFC 250 event was fucking incredible. He got the girl. It's so hard to tell that guy that he's wrong, even if you're right. How do you tell that guy that he's wrong and make him understand it?
You don't need to.
I don't know.
You don't need to.
That's my problem with it, because I heard what Dana said and I was like, oh my God, that's some bullshit. And also, fuck, how do you tell him that that's some bullshit? There's nothing in that guy's life that I can say to him that will change that opinion.
Different strokes, different folks. You're a product of your environment at the end of the day. You know, like, everyone's going to be different, man. And, you know, you have your alphas, yeah, but, like, at the end of the day, you can't withhold things too. Like, if you got to let it out, you got to let it out too, you know, and people shouldn't be ashamed of that either, you know, just as a bloke, you know, like, I think there's going to be times where we're all going to feel different emotions, man. And, you know, like I said, if you're going to bottle it up too and not let it out, whether it's in your own time or to somebody to talk to, you got to be able to, you know, vent, and you've got to be able to express your emotions too, you know, rather than bottling them up, because that's why there's such a high rate of male suicide as well, you know, like there's so much that goes into it, man. And definitely, I think, you know, behavioral patterns, you're a product of your environment, like I said. But you've got to take a lot of things into account, because, you know, we're all different. We all come from different walks of life, and, you know, we all live different ways. So, yeah, I think that sort of plays into it, man. And you've got to sort of take that into consideration as well.
We hijacked your drop time, Tony.
That's
we
fine.
got a drop.
I don't really have one. I had a really, well, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it's just that kind of I mean, I'm not gonna extend this any further because I think we all said our piece. But it's just that fucking pisses me off when you like have two sides of like either you're dealing with what you're feeling or you have to deal with what you're feeling and apologizing for it at the same time because it is conflicting with the person that you portray to be. So I don't do that shit. I just am who I am. And if you for 1 second think that makes me weak, then I'm never an asshole. I'm always easygoing, and I give people within an inch of me to behave. Otherwise, I correct that shit immediately. Like, and I'm not the most imposing human being on the planet, thing like that. But if I have an ounce of power, I will exercise it, right? But at the same time, I will allow myself to be whoever fuck I want and however fuck I feel. That's all.
See, I have a really bad temper, so I just have to put it all away. So bad things don't happen. But.
Yeah, well, I'm the only ex. I'm the only ex-gun on this show, so
that you know of.
Yeah. I don't know. Coma has some.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this the right way. You're the only one of us that's been caught for something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. But I don't really have a drop. I think it was like.
I mean, it's an amazing time for sports and wrestling in general, really to tell you the truth.
It's really hard to complain. Like, then I'll have to reduce it to like, or we just could go like WWE, I guess. That's what we do on the other show.
I didn't think WWE was that bad this week.
No,
I
think
they bringing Roman in, they step it up a notch. It needed a notch. I'm not going to say that notch fixed all the problems. Obviously, it didn't. And the fact that he's just going to leave again and we're going to have to deal with some other dreadful shit going into this next pay-per-view doesn't thrill me. But I thought that, like, okay, they put together at least 5 or 6 things this week where I was like, interesting.
Well, maybe my only drop that is kind of wrestling related was having to, it's not even a drop because I enjoyed it too. Having to walk like 5 blocks to get to an arena. In the middle of like one of the like craziest neighborhoods.
Yeah, your gridlock needs some fixing.
Yeah.
I don't know how quite you do that. All right, I'm gonna give you guys my pop of the week. Coma's gonna love this one. Tony's gonna love this one. Byron, I don't think Byron's gonna care one way or the other.
I care.
Pop of the week is the spear. Come on,
Four.
Braun Breaker. Mid-air spear on your boy.
The Ricky Stark spear.
That was no Braun Breaker, dog.
Yeah, but that's how Ricky does it. Braun does it like Ricky.
Nobody does it like this one. Did you see this one? The mid-air spear.
No, but I know when Ricky does it, he doesn't bounce off the ropes, run at you, and hit you. He hits the ropes and then flies at you for a spear. That looks great.
Does these involve Braun Breaker?
Yeah.
Where's me?
Braun Breaker spear on Javon.
Fucking with you, man.
Okay, yeah.
Have you got the clip?
I'm trying to see if I can find the clip. The clip is amazing. I don't know.
He does a good spear every 3 months, and then he does something else.
How can that not be the pop of the week, though?
It was a great spear. There was no like spear on Asher's speed spear. That was that.
I thought it was up there.
Okay, so on that note,
the reason I thought it was so good was Javon, because Javon is coming into it from the side. Braun Breaker comes across from this side. The timing was perfect. I mean, this is what you get when you get 2 young guys in their prime in wrestling and they get a chance to do a big spot. It should always go like this. And look, nobody from the Vision got hurt this time.
Oh, wow.
That deserves a pop of the week alone.
Who's left?
Braun this week, until they recruit Javon in 2 weeks, because I think they should recruit him and do a Sami Zayn thing with him because it'll get him over more.
That's what they're going to do.
How much will it piss you off if Javon Evans has to stand next to Logan Paul in 20 segments?
No, we see that with Kevin Knight right now.
Yeah. It's great, and it's working already. And like seeing that tension in the ring, I thought was amazing tonight.
And the division will also bring in Maxine Dupree as well, because there's the whole angle that's been going for months now with Austin Theory and Maxine Dupree on backstage. And there was a little bit of interaction between
Let's
Chad
keep
Gable
that going, because I want to see her boyfriend come in all pissed with his weak ass wrestling and his blue chipper status.
Think of Chad Gable's revamp back into the.
Here's the thing I want to say about Chad Gable. Anybody know where Chad Gable's from? I was going to ask Bear this if he was on the
Minnesota.
show.
It's Minnesota. He's in Minnesota.
Yeah, where are we heading to for SummerSlam?
I don't know. Anywhere.
This whole babyface Chad thing was planned for a while. They didn't quite know how they were going to get there, but they wanted to have a babyface Chad Gable at SummerSlam. So doing the Rey Mysterio thing last week, doing what they're doing with him now, playing off the good fortune of the El Grande Americano story, seems to be working pretty good. I think Chad Gable 3.0 is going to work out just fine. The real question is how they go about getting the IC title off of Penta and onto Chad Gable, because that's what they got to do. Penta's had it long enough. Penta's had a good run. There's other things they can do. He's kind of stagnating with the title anyway. There's nobody that we want. There's nobody that we want to see Penta beat, and there's nobody that we want to see beat Penta, and that's when you know it's time to take the belt off of a guy.
Who's got the US? Who's got the US?
The US title, Trick does.
Trick's got it right. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, Trick's going into a decent feud too. But I think, like I love Penta, and I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting the belt to come off of him, because I think you can do more interesting things with him without it right now. I think you can put him into AAA and do some stuff. I think you can do some stuff with Dom. I think you can elevate him and maybe have. I'd like to see Penta and Seth do something together. I think it would be interesting for both of them, and I think Penta needs some of that rub from a guy who is at the top of the mid card and can't ever seem to completely break through to the top of the card. And seeing Penta and Seth are kind of both those guys, that'd be kind of interesting. But I don't know. I mean, I think, look, Chad Gable going into Minnesota, either to get the IC title or as the IC champ, is where you're going with it. It's working out splendidly so far. I don't see anything wrong with it. And like, considering how poorly the El Grande Americano story went on the WWE side, it's amazing they're even doing as good with Chad Gable in front of American audiences.
Yeah, they've shot away from the whole Kurt Angle gimmick, like, you know, the whole "you suck" with the music and stuff. He's got that bit of a rocky anthem, and he's trying to keep it, you know.
Yeah.
Are they keeping the American-made music? I thought that was a one-time thing.
I don't know what they're going to do in that department. I think they're just trying to see what makes it work to keep him a babyface till SummerSlam. Because my natural reaction was to leave him heel, but I think they're really going in a babyface direction with him now.
Because the reaction, they are actually basing everything of how we react over here.
Yeah. And imagine
that power now.
Imagine 2 feuds from now when El Grande Americano is in trouble and out of nowhere Chad Gable runs in and makes the save in Mexico.
Jesus.
Is that
Triple Mania?
Gangbusters.
Gangbusters.
I'm really hoping that the Triple Mania in Mexico City is the good night.
It's supposed to be.
Hopefully.
From what I understand, it has been heavily booked.
That's going to be the championship night too. So I'm hoping that
they've got some good stuff planned. I think you're going to be pleased. Any of you guys have a pop of the week, since y'all don't like my Braun Breaker Javon spear?
I have a pop of the week. My
backwards, bro.
Yeah. So one of my pops of the week are World Cup fans, wrestling, World Cup soccer fans, football fans. I think it's been amazing to see how they all are having so much
Have you
fun
seen
and
the
they're having fun
wrestling
with each
on the
other.
street?
Yeah. I saw. Yeah, the luchadors.
You saw the girl. You saw the girl just like jump.
She jumped in.
She had
She did a splash.
nothing to do with them, and she did a splash. It was like, whatever. And she just like, it was 2 seconds away from they opening inside, just like landing on her face, bro. It was amazing. I love.
Yes, it was,
It was
Rebecca.
so
These guys
good.
don't appreciate it.
Please take that.
It was so good. Also, apparently, soccer fans around the world have the biggest boobs out of all sports, or it's just the cameraman always seems to find them.
Oh yeah, I've seen
The cameramen that are in your algorithm seem to find them. Yes.
No, this
What?
is doing broadcast.
I know.
See,
Yeah, this is not.
I've seen-
it's getting a little tiresome. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a boob guy, but
I mean, at the end of the day, every day I'm looking for the compilation highlight reels. So
They are
Anyway.
selling. They are
Tiresome.
selling commercials, and that's how
Yeah.
you get people to stick around. But my biggest pop is
I
the.
forgot. I did have a drop. But no, go ahead.
Well, you can tell.
My biggest pop is the Hazuki Mercedes match. I thought that was phenomenal. I thought they gave him a lot of time. They got to
Yes,
do
they
a-
did. It was like
They-
two breaks.
Yeah, it was like a
That's-
full-on pay-per-view, like semi-main type match. They
Yeah,
pulled out all the stops. They got Hazuki way over. Mercedes went for her weak, gory DDT move, which kind of sucks. But she did it in a way that it wasn't going to work, and it didn't work. But when she went for her crossface finish, she yanked it hard. She was great with that both times she hooked it on. And Hazuki, I think, was the third trend on Twitter or something during the match. She was getting chants. She won over the crowd. She got all of her stuff in. She got her finish in. She got those boots, the face wash boots, and then the running boot and the ropes that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite moves. That was an unexpected. I thought it was going to be good to enjoyable, but what AEW gave the two performers for that match is my pop of the week. That was awesome.
Can I say that I will not be surprised if Maya World goes over Athena? I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I would not be
That would
surprised.
be such an amazing thing.
I would not be surprised because knowing Mercedes and how she's conducted herself at AEW, she has been in Tony Khan's ear a million times about trying to elevate some of the other girls, especially the people of color. She's wanted to face them. She's wanted to bring them up. And knowing her that she probably knows Maya's story right now, I could see Mercedes herself going to TK and saying, hey, look, I know we were going to do this thing against Athena for the pay-per-view, but what do you think about it being Maya after all? What if we give the kid the rub and then do something with Athena down the line again?
That does make sense because the Iron, I mean, you look at the 2 stars.
Yeah,
Athena
you just
and Maya, it's like Athena's set. She can get that heat for a match anytime.
And building it here somehow gives Athena even more of a reason to have that. And the only places that you can really give Athena losses are these tournaments because it doesn't affect her credibility the same way.
She doesn't have to
I don't
lose
know if
to
they're
her.
going to do it or not. I'm just saying if they did do it, I wouldn't be surprised. People do not realize the kind of advocate for the younger women wrestlers that Mercedes has been since she's been in AEW. And she can't do it all herself, and she may not have all the perfect ideas of how to do it, but it's part of her journey that she was going to do this. Like the her taking all the belts and then dropping them all back was always the plan. Her, doing those early matches with Sky and Julia or whoever the hell she was doing, totally intentional. It's part of why she came to AEW. She wanted to prove and do something that none of the WWE girls could do. That's it. She wanted, like, if I'm going to leave the safety of the big house and this, that, and the other thing, I'm going to big fat paycheck where I get a ton of, recognition for having succeeded on the level of the boys. And I want to put over a bunch of really young up and coming talent and girls that I see over there. I'm not going to go over there and put over the Charlotte level girls. I want to go over there and put over the girls who were like me when I came out of NXT. That's all she wanted to do.
It's part of her belt collector gimmick.
Yeah.
She was going to have 2 matches with a local star.
Yep.
And have a record night for that promotion.
Yep. So, I mean, yeah. If you're going to do it, if you're going to leave, that's part of the thing. So I wouldn't be surprised. Now, look, Tony Khan may be like, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, like, I got to sell pay-per-views and you and Athena are both names. So that's what we got to do. So that could still be the way it goes too. But to me, it's like you got other names on there. Forbidden Door is not that big a deal at this point anyway. I give it to the kid. You got Mercedes on the show. Give it to the kid. That's what I would do. Tony, you said you had another or a drop?
Yeah, I had a drop that is not wrestling related. However, it's fucking up my life. Hydration breaks. Not that shit.
It's so weird.
Just call in quarters. It's okay. You ruined the game for and then some of them are straight to commercials and some others are by like sponsored by Powerade.
Right.
Decide, motherfuckers. Like, how long are they? What isn't there a
I
timer?
thought it was supposed to be 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why isn't there a timer telling me that it's gonna be over so I can run to the bathroom like an American television show will do it?
This is like the whole injury time system is so weird. The whole like you're waiting and you don't know when the game's gonna actually end is the most bizarre thing left in sports. It's the only sport like that where there's one dude with a watch and only his watch can tell you when the game ends. Everybody else is just second guessing. It is the weirdest thing about international football. I won't call it soccer.
It's just
bizarre.
Really,
but now we're getting like 19 minutes of injury time because part of it is water break time.
Exactly. Like
weird.
That even increases the amount of time at the end of the match.
So weird.
Adam Cleary, I think he's no longer with the What Culture. I don't know. Anyways, I have to check my sources on that, but he made a graph that after every hydration break, which is actually very complicated to say, hydration break. That's too many syllables. Every time whoever has possession of the ball or has been dominating, it flips to the other side. Like if you
so they're trying to even the game.
I don't understand. There's something going on there. But the thing is that, and that's why a lot of these teams they have been like surprises, right? or like if you are a favorite, this is how it's going right now. If you're a favorite in your first game, you will either tie or lose. That's what we have, the Costa, whatever, and we had the other the Spain game. All these teams they have possession of the ball. They probably just scored, and then you stop them to like drink water, and then when they come back, they're fucking lost in like they don't know where they are.
This is FIFA. They're corrupt, mate. You got to realize that.
Yeah, well. There is a subway line that has not been finished right across my house. I know what you mean by corruption. Yeah.
That's every sports organization in the world.
Yeah. And for Pops, I have I think it's kind of a general pop, but it is a pop because I'm just very hopeful and happy of where Lucha Libre. It's going to be probably for the next 10 years because I see all this young talent. They are amazing. It's like right now, like Sonic is like looking at even crazier Rey Mysterio. Looking at Tabata and Rina, it's like I know that it's gonna be really good Lucha Libre for the next 10 years. I'm just very happy for that. And
tell
my
these kids
second
to stay healthy and don't get hurt.
Yes, please.
Because some of them do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, be smart. You don't have to do it all the time.
Be smart.
Yeah, for real.
Be smart.
Yeah.
Do it smarter, not harder.
Do some grappling too, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe lock up a little bit more.
Lock up. Yeah.
Work out, grab a hold and work it.
Yeah. Learn a hole and just made it your own. And the other one, it's kind of more personal, but talking about baseball and Akira and the Tokyo Giants with Tiger Mask and like striking a friendship with him was not in my bingo card of my fucking life.
It's so awesome.
It's insane that and everybody else looked just like, because I was speaking a little Japanese and then English and then Spanish, and he was doing the same. It was crazy because everybody was like, what are these two motherfuckers talking about? Baseball, bro. We're talking about 1998 MLB's All-Star game in Japan, and like, it was great. It was a great moment.
Let's see what Bex has here. Bex Pop is Australian fans and their chants. Yeah.
Oh, have you heard them?
They're ridiculous. Coma, stop telling these people what to say. The drop is Portugal shitting the bed and me getting hurt yesterday. Rooms. How the fuck did you get hurt? Jesus Christ, don't do that.
Portugal made me lose money today.
And we're glad we could make your recovery a little bit better.
I like Australia and England both have Trump chants, calling him a pedo and Epstein file and stuff like that.
Facts.
That's great. Or calling him a cunt.
It's facts.
It's
cunt. They can say it.
You can't say cunt, Byron. It's kunt.
Kunt.
Yeah, no, that's British when you kunt.
No, I don't want to put Australian face on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Until you say it.
Australian face? But if there's an ethnicity you can pretend, that's probably one of those. And British.
No.
You can do the accent.
British.
Go ahead.
British, maybe.
Okay.
Oi.
Okay.
Oi. Fish and chips. Oi. Kick the ball, you wanker.
Kick the ball.
Look, hey, I'm Meefloaf. So
you
guys didn't know.
You cannot do any accents with grace. Oh my god. That's...
I can't not to on the air. You know, it's.
Or just fish and chips, you cunt.
Fish and chips, bro. That's
you guys thought Meef was back on the show.
There's only one accent that you should ever do, Byron. Let's hear your Oba Femi. Come on, let's hear it.
No.
Tell them you are the ruler, Byron.
I got to walk these streets. I
am the ruler of WWE. Tell them.
We live in a cul-de-sac.
Brock Lesnar.
I can't walk these streets talking like that.
Long story. Oh, Byron can't even do Canadian, eh?
Hey,
he plays Okie every day, and he still can't do Canadian, eh?
What it's all about, E? You want to go for a rip, bud?
Coma, you have a pop this week?
Yeah, I'm going to throw it out to my new favorite Lucha Libre luchador, Bandito. I'm really loving everything that's happening for him right now. I think he's really on a bit of a high now, and I'm really just enjoying watching him and what he's doing, in AEW and around in the other independents. I think is really, really cool, man. I like him a lot. I love you, Bandito.
No,
I'm gonna. I'm gonna send him this clip.
He's doing what Vikingo was trying to do 3 years ago, but better.
Yeah,
he really is. And I love Vikingo, but he had the world in front of him. He just look, the whole reason that amazing match with Gringo Loco and all those guys happened is because Bandito was smarter than Vikingo. Because he said, hey guys, I could do a one-on-one thing, but man, I've been going pretty hard in AEW. I got to go back and do some stuff there next week. Why don't we do an 8-man or whatever? Whereas Vikingo at the same point in his career was like, oh, dude, this is great. There's a high school gymnasium with 43 people in it. So what I'm going to do is run down the railing and do a sideways flip over the top rope into the ring and twist up my ankle real good so I can't wrestle for the next 3 months. The fuck? Dude, what are you?
Something special about him, man. There is something special about him. Plus, he's got swagger too. I need to get that mariachi drip he was wearing at the pay-per-view. That was great.
Yeah.
Well, if you come to Mexico,
come to Mexico.
Finance it.
I will just say this: don't look too closely into Bandito's eyes. That's a pretty man.
How you get
Just be careful. Just be careful if you come to Mexico and you're talking with Bandito. Just don't lock eyes, man.
Yeah.
If a luchador is wearing a mask, it's because they're too pretty.
So Dreamy,
and they're doing you a favor.
It is hilarious to me how many of these young men who are masked luchadors are handsome fellows. I can't even explain it to you.
No, but Bandido, I've
Bandito's a different story. But I mean, even like Commander's like Mexican Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the most complimentary way of like, I see some of these dudes you see without their mask, and you're like, dude, you gotta lose that mask. What are you doing?
Dude, it would be okay.
Do the ladies know? Do they know who you are? Because damn, dude, you're a world-class athlete, and you're a handsome fella, and you're in the gym every day. Oh my God, you could be racking up. What are you doing? Why are you under a hood? Do what Conan did. Conan was like, oh, I am so coming out of my mask as quickly as possible because I'm trying to get laid, y'all. This El Barbaro thing isn't working for me. He was in and out of his mask in what, 3 years? Conan was barely a luchador. But it was because everyone was like, and the funny thing is, Conan is not a handsome guy. He just thought he was handsome.
Wow.
I mean, he was all right back then with his long Menudo hair.
That was a Menudo character.
He did. He looked like he was a Menudo wannabe so bad. Don't let Carlos fool you. He wanted to be one of the pretty boy band guys so bad until the boys in the WCW locker room were like, dude, what are you talking about? Shave your head and be tough. What are you doing, asshole?
NWA.
Yeah.
Not the wrestling alike.
No, like somebody was like, by the way, you're a Mexican gangster now. Stop with all this other bullshit. Like, are you trying to get paid or not?
Do you know he has like an album and he was doing novellas?
Oh yeah.
That's what you know what the funny thing is? That's what like Thunder remembers him the most from.
Really? For real?
Yeah.
The album is great. It's like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch meets NSYNC.
Yeah, it is an NSYNC kind of a thing.
But I mean, he's got some decent raps and stuff on there and whatever. But I mean, he's really trying to do like an NSYNC pop Marky Mark kind of thing.
It's a Marky Mark thing. Yeah. It's like tougher than my brother at New Kids on the Block.
I get your joke there. I was not a luchador. I mean, come on, put a mask on this. Can't do that.
So dreamy.
These other young luchador guys make that mistake. Like, no, I gotta wear a mask. It's part of the tradition. Man, no, you handsome. Get out of that fucking mask. You don't need it. Perro Aguayo didn't need it. Conan didn't need it. You don't need that shit either.
Vampiro didn't need it.
Hoovy, come on, that dude. Best thing that ever happened to Hoovy was coming out of the mask. He made money afterwards. Look, a lot of guys come out of the mask and they're just some normal dude. Like Penta, keep your mask, bro.
Keep the mask on.
Okay.
Because he's so normal, right? Phoenix is pretty normal too. Phoenix I could see coming out of the mask, but
so dreamy.
Yeah, but like Hoovy? Yeah, why the fuck were you wearing a mask, bro? I mean, you look like a girl. Why would you wear a mask? It's fine.
He's the juice, man.
Yeah, he's the juice. Anyway, been a great show. Thank you guys for coming. Until next time, stay calm, stay in the mix.